Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, you feeling better?
Eh, it's going to be a lifelong acute, not acute. They
Chronic.
got
Yeah, you're not cute. Not cute at all.
not
Christ.
anymore.
Not anymore. Oh man, not anymore.
Your friend.
Nice.
Guys,
Stop
are you
it. He
guys
used
behaving
he
well?
used to be really cute. Stop it
I've
right
got
now.
When do they ever behave, Trish?
Boy, I've got a lighting issue. Look at that bald head right in that light, man. I am oof.
Oh, Jesus.
All I can say
I'm
is nice
still-
haircut, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello,
Actually, the
guys.
lights.
Who do we have? John, Kenny's here. Lori, Justin, Tracy, Linda, Matt, John, Dr. Mike. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Cheers.
Happy
Cheers.
Friday.
You got a drink
what
there,
you
Miss
drinking?
Thing?
Yes, I got, see, it's,
You
oh,
got
it's
your
a
drink on?
slightly purple. It's lavender, not lavender, sorry. Hibiscus gin.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
Biscuits,
who
Jim.
remembers this?
RC.
Oh dear
Oh, yeah,
Lord.
RC,
Where
absolutely.
did you get that, Matt?
ShopRite.
Really?
Yeah.
They
I think
You
we
can-
used to have
you can still
a
find it,
processing
yeah, you-
plant for
Yeah.
RC up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've
Nope.
never really, I'm not against it. I just never really got into it. I guess I'm like, I love Coca-Cola. Like that's just, and I don't really even drink soda that often, but when I do, it's Coke.
Drink
You know,
what?
in blind
Soda? Is
in
that what
blind-
you said? Soda?
soda.
You
In
call it
blind,
pop. You call
in
it pop
blind
out there?
taste tests.
No, in Alabama, we call everything Coke. Like you don't go
Oh,
and just
I
order
heard
a
that.
Coke. If you say I want a Coke, they'll say what kind.
What kind? Yeah. What kind?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, like
7 Up.
cherry, vanilla, and all that.
What kind of Coke would you like? Dr. Pepper.
Have anybody seen a Mr. Pibb lately?
No,
I saw
haven't seen one.
something regarding the Mr. Pibb and how it kind of rebranded or just went a little kind of,
Really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Dr.
I
Pibb,
hadn't
yeah.
seen that in forever.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, there's the whole debate, soft drink, pop, cola, or just what are the other soft drinks, soda, pop. There we go.
Coke.
Carbonated beverage.
Well, that's just
I would
too
like a
long to say.
carbonated beverage, please.
In every blind
well-
taste test between Coke, Pepsi, and RC won hands down.
Really?
Mm.
I'll have to, I
Mhm.
haven't had it in years. I'll have to,
No, that's
I mean,
not
we
it
have
either.
shop right here. I have shop right over by me too. So I'll have
I mean,
to,
I'm fine with generic cola. I'd rather pay $2.99 for a 10-pack than $10 for Coke.
yeah.
Oh, hell's yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, like I said, I don't really buy it very often. I literally sometimes I'll keep like a 6-pack of Coca-Cola, like in the little bottles. I'll keep it so long that it actually expires. Like I
Oh,
just
wow.
go through it. Yeah, it's not very often, but I'll use it as like sometimes I'll mix a drink with it or something, but I just don't really drink. Yeah, I don't drink soda.
Part of the client package, the small sodas that you got to keep out when the clients are here.
Wait, say that
Oh.
again, Matt?
Part of the client package, you know, when the clients come over and you got to offer them something, you got the small cans of Coke.
Oh, that's fancy. Oh, I didn't know you had clients coming over to you. That's awesome. I don't
Oh,
really have that.
Yeah. Well, right now the studio is a mess because I'm eBaying a boatload of equipment off.
You sure are.
I've got
Wow.
cardboard boxes and equipment all piled up. So I have to apologize to a client prior to entering the fortress and
Okay.
dog hair.
I like that name, the Fortress.
Not Fortress. So, hello, 4 people watching in the Frameworks group. Everybody say hi, Frameworks.
Well, hello.
Trisha's
Hey,
watching
Framers.
there. She's the only. If you are watching and you want to pop into the chat, of the Facebook feed, just let us know that you were here. I'd love to say hi. Who do we have in that? Linda, looking for new faces. Hi, Linda, welcome. Oh, and then she disappears.
Scared her off.
There we go.
Wait,
You
she's shy.
scared her off.
Oh, there she is. I was like, are you shy? It's okay. I don't want to.
Are you shy?
Can I, do you want to tell us? Okay, never mind.
She won't be for long if she sticks around here.
It's okay. If you want to share who you are on the chat, if you're a little shy, but otherwise just feel free to share with the, hi.
Hello.
Talk.
If you want to break your shyness, I highly recommend the Soda Stream, but not with water, with bourbon.
Okay.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
put
Are you
bourbon
serious?
in your Soda Stream. Oh my.
Really?
Oh, really?
I guess it
good stuff.
disinfects it too at the same time.
Disinfects? What's wrong with bourbon?
What's the bourbon? Well, because it's alcohol.
There's nothing wrong
So-
with that. It's
Yes,
already a
it's
disinfectant.
delicious alcohol.
I'm just
Yes.
saying it's a 2-for-1.
I like to
Exactly.
drink I like to drink mouthwash. Mostly.
Mouthwash.
Woodford
Tell us.
Reserve, everybody.
Linda, what's going on? Where are you in the world? Are you, can you hear me or?
Yeah,
Now
I
she
can
can.
hear, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we
we
can
can.
hear you.
Mhm.
Okay,
Loud and
thank
clear.
you. No, I was trying to chat, but I'm not in these very often. So today I'm actually on the St. Lawrence River in a cottage on an island visiting friends.
That's
And so I wasn't
Nice.
sure I even had the Wi-Fi here. So I decided to tap in and hear what you guys are all about on a Friday night.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you
It's-
poor
thanks for
fool.
taking the time out. That sounds like a lovely, being on a boat on an island. Did you say a
No,
boat?
I'm not on a boat. Have you heard of the Thousand Islands?
I was going to say there's
yeah.
only 999 left, right?
Right.
This
I'm
was
on
yours.
one. I'm
Uh-oh.
on one of the Thousand Islands, and right across the St. Lawrence River, I can see Canada. And I have friends that own one of the islands. So I'm here on vacation, just sitting on their island, hanging out with you guys on a Friday night.
Well, that's
Nice.
Those are good
cool.
ones to know.
Thanks for hanging out with us and yeah, being here for the first it's
Well,
Fridays
hi
are
from
tough for some
Canada.
people, so thanks. How did you find out? Are you on my email list, or how did you find out about this? Somewhere I posted?
Well, yes, on Facebook, but you and I have actually communicated via email a couple of times,
Okay.
and we talked about the challenges that you offer sometimes.
Oh
I've just
yeah.
been, we all have busy lives, and I'm just trying to give everything equal time and opportunity in my life these days because I got a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. It is becoming,
better.
it can be challenging if you have a lot to,
Hmm.
kind of juggle with, but yeah, I mean, but I'm actually, speaking of challenges, I'm starting another one on the 19th. Those of you that are already in the Facebook group for the challenge will be able to take, like, you can watch the live stream of each of them and as long as you're in the group, that's free. But if you want to take part in the Zoom, then it's only $27. So but I'm actually we're not having signups yet, but if you guys want to get on the wait list, I do, the wait list I'm building is from, anybody that's like, basically when I go and change the page over to the paid kind of, it goes from the wait list. You can either sign up for the wait list and get on the email list for the challenge, and then you'll be the first to know about it. Because anybody that's on the wait list, I send an email to first before sending it out to anybody else, or kind of announcing it to like publicly, or doing any kind of promotion for it. The people on that wait list get first dibs at the challenge, signing up for the challenge, because it's a limited seating event. So I
Right.
did sell out the first one. So you know, but if you want to get on the wait list, it's vohustlechallenge.com. And if you know, if you want to find out about the next one or find out when we actually open the page, but it starts on the 19th. So
Do we
Okay,
have to
thank
do
you.
the hustle? Is that a prerequisite? Do we actually have to do the hustle?
Oh,
Saturday night
I'm
soundtrack and
run,
all.
run,
Talk about a
Forrest, run.
throwback. I know. I never did learn how to do the hustle. I was too young.
I know I wasn't really I did swing dancing for years when it came, you know, like 25 years ago when it was like it
Swing. Oh,
experienced like a
wow.
resurgence. Yeah. Yeah. I actually competed. Like
Oh, geez.
it was a fun time in my life for sure, but it was so long ago and you know, things, whatever. But I had a dance partner and everything. We had, you know, in fact, that my dance partner was the guy who was basically responsible for me. He was the first guy that suggested I do voiceover, first person that ever
Wow.
like
Wow.
suggested it. And he was like, he and I were dance partners. And so we were friends. And he came and visited me at the radio station to just
Hmm.
hang out because I was there by myself usually at the radio station and I would be on the air and so I was already on the air when he was driving up to the radio station and so he was listening to me on his way up there and when he got there we would have lunch or whatever and he would just hang out because it was like I was the only one in the building. It was a weekend air shift. And he was like, "Hey, you know, I never thought about this about your voice before until I heard you behind a microphone. But
Hmm.
you know, you should check into voiceovers." And I was like, "No, this was like 1999, you know?" So I'm
Wow.
like, "Well, what's that?" And he's like, "You know, like commercials and stuff." And I didn't even have a home computer yet. And so there, we had a computer at the radio station to do like show prep and stuff. And we actually had one of those big, huge monitor, you know, it's like this thick, like going back, you know, it's like this huge computer inside the like not a laptop or anything. It was just one of those big, huge monitors. But you know, the internet, it worked. The internet was a very different place back then, but it was still like I literally put in I I put in the word voice, typed in the word voiceover and hit enter and like came up with a coach and she was who I connected with first, who just happened to be in New Jersey.
Wow.
And that's
Was
how I
that
then I met Leslie.
Leslie? Was that Coach Leslie, the lady that helped
So
teach
I
you?
met Leslie through her.
Okay.
So yeah, my first coach, I only worked with on like a group level and like just enough to like take like you know, but I didn't really like my first coach that much. She was just she's not a very warm person. Like she's a great businesswoman, but I didn't feel any, when I met her, she almost like seemed like she was annoyed at me to like,
Edge
you know, and I was
Studios,
like, okay.
Trish.
I'm not gonna say who it was. I have in the past, but I'm not gonna say who it was. It doesn't matter.
I
But
can ask Edge Studios.
it's not Edge.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not Edge. But so I went to, but this woman that I took this coaching session with, and it wasn't online as in internet. It was on the phone. It was like again, this was like 2000, right? Probably 2000. 99-ish, 2000. So, you know, and so it was an 8-week teleconference. It was on a teleconference line. So you just call a phone number and there was 8 students and, you know, and then you kind of learned that way. And so it was an 8-week course. You met once a week for 8 weeks and she coached everybody in a group coaching just on audio. And that's kind of that was my, you know, kind of foray into the business, I guess. And then she had a marketing thing in New York City. I took advantage of it because I was like, well, most of the people in the 8-week course were not actually in like local to the New York area, but I was. And so I went into New York because I wanted to meet her. I was so excited to meet her. And then it was kind of like a wah, wah, wah kind of thing. But it was a marketing session. It was like a marketing webinar, right? Voiceover marketing webinar. And that's how I met Leslie. So Leslie just happened to be on the panel during the webinar or during the seminar, I guess.
Well,
'cause
that class Wednesday night was really good.
did you
Lots of
like
really
it,
good.
Lori?
I
Thank you
did.
for coming. Yeah, it
We
went
took all
really
kinds of notes. So I got to go back over my notes, and I had to leave right as you were presenting your special offer or whatever.
Oh, the BLT
Because I had a
package. Yeah,
job I had to record, so I had to.
yeah. Did you get the replay?
I can go back to it. I did get the email of that. So
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Yeah, because the BLT offer is only good until tomorrow at noon. But and it's probably one of our best. It's like it's just small, low price package to kind of like get people, you know, to at least it includes the marketing, includes one-on-one. It's like a mini version of my Imperial package, which is a little bit larger, but it kind of includes a little bit of everything.
I
So
really like the fact, to be honest with you, I really like the fact that the coaching with both you and with Leslie.
yeah,
That the little bit of time with Leslie was awesome. Boy, she's good.
she's so good.
I
Yeah.
could see that right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we teach very differently, but we both kind of you know, but we have similar, like we have the same, we have different styles, but we also have a lot of things in common. Like, you know, and like I said, when she and I were kind of getting together to talk about the content of the webinar, she's like, yeah, I have these 10 pillars. I'm like, I don't call them pillars. My 6 pillars thing is separate, but like the 10 concepts that I talk about with technique, with the color words and the differentiator and the billboarding and lists and like those 10 things that I talk about in my, like when I work with somebody for the first time, like she's really
Now,
similar with how she kind of breaks things down. So it
I
was
got a
really
question,
Mhm.
if I may,
Sure.
about that. Now was that what I didn't quite understand, and if I misunderstood, oops, is that each participant gets an hour and a half with each coach?
Yes. So it's 3 hours
That
total.
see to me, if nothing else, even though because I've got some of the other
That's
stuff
worth
that you're
more than
presenting up
just,
there.
yeah, it's worth more than
Amen.
what it,
Amen.
yeah.
And I like the contrast of working. I like working with you, and I want to work with other people too, because a different coach is going to have a different way to approach, and you never know what's going to hit. You never know what's
Right.
going to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely, you know, I've definitely been in sessions with people that, you know, I can tell that they're not grasping it and it's not their fault. Like there's been times I've tried to learn something and I haven't grasped it because it just wasn't taught to me in the right way, you know, or not so much the right way, but my
Oh,
way,
yeah.
right? The way that I needed to understand, you know, like even in high school, I literally a little divulging a little bit. I was not the best student in high school. I was a terrible student. I barely got by, Robert. um, so I so I took algebra. I'm not math. I don't do math. Like terrible at math. So algebra completely threw me for a loop, and I failed it my freshman year. So when everybody else went on to geometry, I stayed back. I mean, I didn't get held back. Like I advanced in the grade. I just failed algebra, so I had to take it again the next year.
But Trish, the particular teacher has a lot to do with that
So
too.
new teacher, the second year, they just happened to change algebra teachers. She was,
Mhm.
and it went from male to female, which I can't even say that that's necessarily what it was, but it literally, I remember sitting there in class in the second year going, oh, it literally was like somebody flipped a switch. And the
And
same thing happened with me with chemistry because I had a tutor, one of my best friends was very good at math and science and I wasn't, and I was starting to fail chemistry my junior year. And one of my friends, he was like, I'm going to help you with this. And he literally sat and explained it over and over and over again, not the same way. And one particular thing, it literally clicked. And I was like, oh, so this and this and this. And he's like, yeah. I literally aced the rest of the year for both algebra and chemistry once I understood the formula. And it just needed, I needed to hear it a certain way And
Mhm.
so VO is the same way, or anything you learn. It's like just learning from the, again, not necessarily the right person, but somebody that explains it in a way that makes sense to you.
Yeah, and as a teacher, somebody who worked for 1,000 years in that profession, it's very true, boy. You can hit one student and get it right in there, and you may do one thing great,
Yeah.
but the person, your student, doesn't quite get what you're looking for, and the next person can come at it the same thing with a different approach, and you go,
Mhm.
ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
different people and different styles, and it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So I understand that the way that I teach VO, and like I'm very technical when I teach and kind of break things down into little itty bitty pieces. And so some people don't need that. Some people kind of like that overall learning. And like the thing is once you start, like, I like teaching beginners because I like to see those longer strides, like, and then I work with like my coach, Hugh Klitsky, only works with pros, and he works on we just work on nuance, like little tiny things. Like these are, it's like, because, and he doesn't do voiceovers because I don't need him for like navigating the business. And that's what's really important, I think, when you work with a coach, that you work with somebody. If you're a total beginner and you don't know how to do editing, or very little about all of the things, building the home studio and all of that stuff, it's important. It really helps a lot to learn even technique with someone that still even knows the business. That's also a talent, but once you get up into the ranks, so to speak, you don't really need that anymore. You can navigate the business on your own. What you're doing, and you just need somebody to tweak your reads once in a while. And so hi Jamie, good to see you here. It's like it's been a while. Oh, is somebody visiting your booth?
Oh my God, I didn't see her. Holy moly.
She literally just like
Okay.
appeared, just
I was texting her, tell your grandma to take you to Taekwondo. This is the first time I've been able to get on this Zoom. I've been trying to get to it.
oh,
And,
you're
so anyway, she's like, come in here. Hold on, I'm in a meeting. Okay. Anyway, yes. Hi, good to see you. I've been wanting to come to
Hi.
one of these. I've never been able to make it. And I just wrapped up a session. I'm like, and I saw your email. I said, oh, I can hop on. This is great.
Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks
Thank you for doing this. You offer so many things and resources for voice talent. So thank you so much for all you do for all of us. You're so generous with your time and all these
thanks.
free things we can do. So thank you, Trish.
Oh, you're
Oh, yeah.
welcome. Yeah, I love doing it. So
We
it's
can
great.
tell. You can tell
Yeah.
you love it. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
awesome at it.
Yeah, thanks. It's 2 years now for VO Happy Hour
So
specifically.
cool.
So we started out with like 4 or 5 people, and here we are.
I love it. There's a bunch of people. I love it. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mute because she might be coming in here.
No problem. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Muted.
So who else? Joe Thomas is here. I always look for Jesse's here. Hi guys. I'm like looking for faces. James. I'm like, no. Robert. Who didn't I say
Howdy,
hello
howdy.
to yet?
Oh, you need your magic mirror.
Oh yeah, right. I know. I know. I see Joseph and Tracy and Alton and Robert. Ah, yes, romper room. Gen X. Woo. So what's going on, guys? It's quiet. You don't need, as long as you're not dealing with any, if you're not dealing with any background sounds, you're welcome to leave your mics open. If we like to leave discussion open here, unless, like I said, you're dealing with some sort of
Children coming in.
I went to the CBD store and talked about my aching joints. Lady tried to sell me rolling papers.
Oh,
Rolling
my
papers.
joints, my elbows.
Careful.
Oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
did discover the best name
Ah.
for a salon. Blame it all on my roots.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Gar.
She had-
Don't be getting so excited when he mentions
Great.
joints now. Come
I
on.
like the.
Oh
She
dear
had,
God.
blame it all on my roots.
And
I
there
was
were
like
cowboy
the-
boots on the sign.
I was like the Joe's curl up and die.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
For a hair salon, Joe's curl up and die.
Oh dear God. Okay.
That's how we feel
You
when
don't
our
have to
roots
worry
are
about
bad.
hair salons, Gar.
No,
Yeah.
not an issue. Thank you.
Curl up and die. That's a riot.
Oh,
Well,
I saw a
got
girl once.
positive, got someone that's going to be, that had reached back to, well, not actually, this was the first time that they had reached out to me that said that they will be going to be keeping me in mind if they need something. So that's a big yes. That's a
great.
big
Awesome.
push.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I've seen you for your 20-minute, John. It's I want to be able to, we keep talking about just taking your 20-minute with me, your 20-minute chat that I offer for free for people.
Okay.
You know, it's just I'd like to see if we can, like, even if I can come up with some sort of ideas for you to like
Okay.
help you with your results a little bit more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, because it's been a while.
yeah,
Good
I
for you,
know.
Rob.
I just want to be able, I want to evaluate, I kind of want to see
Okay.
what you're doing and what I think I can help you with, you know, but
Okay.
um
20-minute evaluation. Where would I get that at? I got it.
yeah, it's here, and this, well, I'll post it in here to
Okay.
anybody. Because and I offer it like as a one-time thing. If we've never really worked to, you know, like if we're either, I offer it as either if we haven't seen each other in quite some time, like you and John and I have worked together in the past, but I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while, and I would love to be able to help. But if
Oh, I
you
appreciate
are new
that.
to me and you just want an idea, like if you have ideas for voiceover and you're not sure kind of where to go or where to start or kind of go next, then I just offer a free 20-minute kind of evaluation. I can listen to demos,
Okay.
like, you know, whatever you want to use it for. But you know, and hang on, copy. Here we go. I'll post it in the chat if anybody wants to
Okay.
use it. You can choose from my calendar and just pop yourself in there. But
There it is. Okay, cool.
yeah, it's, you know, I'm not a hard sell. Like there's a lot of things that I'm gonna, I have, in some ways, if I can help you without, charging you, obviously, then that's a different, that I try to do that when I can. And so I have a lot of free resources, like Jamie was saying, like I have a ton, like
Yeah.
everything that I've hosted, all of the happy hours are free and recorded. I record everything. I have copies of everything. If you go into the frameworks group, my VO frameworks group, which is my free group, I have a bunch of tutorials in there on a bunch of stuff on
I've listened to a
editing,
couple
on
of those.
marketing, on technique. Like, if there's a lot to learn that you can learn without, spending anything. But of course, at some point, investing in something is important. Obviously, you're not going to get paid work until you really learn the way in, and everybody's a
Well, I
little bit
appreciate it.
yeah. So,
Hey,
but
Trish, I
yeah,
have a
Lori.
question.
Sure.
I don't want to interrupt you if you're in the middle of saying something though.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I may have asked this before and then got off on a tangent, knowing me, but in our cold call emails, I have some people that have said, "What are your rates?" I honestly don't know what to say because the people that I'm initially reaching out to are in the Birmingham, Alabama area. And so even this past weekend, I contacted a guy who he's a radio personality that I barely know, and but he does VO also. He has agents and does national stuff as well. And so I asked him the same question, and he said, honestly, Lori, I mean, I told him, I said, my coach preaches GVAA or whatever, and he said, yeah, you're not going to really find that in the Birmingham local community. And anyway, and so what I want to say is, I just want to work for you. So I'll work in your budget, whatever
Right.
budget.
Well,
What are you
yeah.
paying people already, So how can I say that and be professional?
So,
Good question.
well, yeah, it's and here's where, I mean, the beauty is that we all work for ourselves, right? We all have our own businesses. So you can make the decisions as you want. You have to decide what your kind of like bottom price is, like how much you're really willing to do something for, you're not really getting, it's experience, but it doesn't really, it's not like it's not like a stepping stone. When you do a cheap or free job, it doesn't get you any farther. It's,
Yeah.
If you want to do it because it's something, it's like for a cause or a product or something that you really like and that you believe in and you want to help, maybe it's for a friend and but I don't do any free or super low paid work for anybody that comes to me that I have no idea who they are. There's no reason, like,
what their project budget
you
is.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so a
Well,
lot
and
of it.
that he even said to me, he said that the average that he had experienced in with Birmingham customer was like $50 for 30 seconds of raw. Um,
Yeah, you can look at it as beer money. I have, as long as they are not using it for anything else, you
mhm,
can just, like use it for whatever, like I mean, 50
mhm.
bucks is 50 bucks. I get
Can
that,
I
Yeah.
can I throw an
But
analogy out?
sure.
Okay. I look at voiceover in a local market like driving a taxi cab. Everybody knows how much the taxi cab is going to pay, rather, how much they're going to have to pay the taxi cab. You're
mhm,
getting the message across. And I don't care if you're a brand new driver in this taxi cab, the taxi cab rates are the taxi cab rates. You're a professional now, charge what the market will bear. Get them from point A to point B,
Right.
and they'll be happy. Now, if you throw your rates to the GVAA and and you say, look, if this was a national ad, this is how much it would be. If this was a regional ad, this is how much it would be. But you're a local guy. I want to help you out because I'm a local gal. I want to do what's best to keep the money in the market. You can charge whatever rates you want, and everybody's going to think, wow, she's getting me from point A to point B, and I'm going to use her again because she really cares about me.
mhm. That's a good way to put.
Well,
Um,
can't you actually, I'm sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
Well, I was just gonna ask also, so then, but like if it was for the local TV station or whatever, there would be usage. Surely they would expect to have to pay a usage fee on top, wouldn't you think?
not surely. You'd hope that, but we have to
Absolutely.
educate them. They
Yeah.
should. They
Well,
should.
and here's the thing. So a lot of local spots, so they don't run for very long,
Mhm.
and most of the time. And the bet, like, the only time that I will accept doing something for without like like full on usage is when it has something inside the spot, like
Mhm.
verbiage that indicates that it ends at a certain time. They're not going to use, like, if it's a 4th of July celebration, they're not going to use it past the 4th of July. They may use it next year. It depends on the verbiage, of course, but but like at least if it's something that will limit the usage anyway, that there's no like, it would be stupid if they kind of ran it past July 4th, like it doesn't, then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
then you don't, then I don't really worry too much about usage at that point. But yeah, like Jamie said, like, yeah, you kind of hope, but at the same time, there's it's there's no real system for it. In the
Especially as new
Wild
people
West.
come in. Yeah, especially as new folks come in, the young people who have never worked here before and they don't know the rules for the older people. Like, back when most of it was union and you get so much money, everyone's a millionaire, the 5 dudes doing voiceover. These days, it's like, it is the Wild West, just like what Trish said. So we shouldn't assume that they know more than us. We should take responsibility for our business to educate them on rates. And that could be different for everybody. I would love to know everyone's opinion on rate card. I heard someone say they have a rate card. Do y'all have rate cards?
I don't. And
I have one on my site, but it links over to GVAA.
Got it.
And it says, happy to work within your budget. This is a ballpark from where we start from.
Got it.
My rate card says it's complicated.
That's
it.
Yeah, there we
It
go.
sounds like your
That's
date card.
great.
Yeah.
So, and
I-
to answer,
That's a great one.
Lori,
Trish,
you mentioned, go ahead, I'm sorry.
ahead.
Who's that?
I was
Matt?
going to say, as for verbiage and usage, I've got a micro client, like so tiny.
Uh-huh.
I just do it for fun. It's beer and gas money.
Right.
But in the script, it says offer expires 2/22/24.
Oh,
Okay.
Still running it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's, and you're a copywriter though, so you know to write it in there, right?
Yeah.
Like, see,
Put it in your
don't-
invoice.
I
tend
also kind of want to piggyback. I'm
Okay.
sorry to interrupt. I kind of want to piggyback off of what Lori, was mentioning about that. Because I've also heard other people, especially with like small local businesses, of course, it's going to be a different thing. But I've also heard that some people would just flat out ask them, what did you pay your last person
Oh,
that you did that? Like, do people agree? Do y'all agree with that? Or
Yeah, I've
see that
been there
as-
for a liquor store company that's like basically just Texas. Their last voiceover guy moved out of state and didn't want to do the work for him anymore. I said, well, what was he getting? And I'll work for that.
oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. You
I-
can't.
Well, I've heard that, and somebody put it up in the chat, what is your budget? I mean,
That's
I
right.
don't know if that's
Yeah,
good or bad.
I've
you say
used that a
budget
lot,
or
too.
budget range.
Yeah,
what's
budget
the client's
range.
budget or
Budget.
budget range?
Right.
Put it back to them because maybe they'll give you a number that's way bigger than you're going to say. Score.
Very
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
times, but it does
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
I
true.
feel like, that's why I don't really like asking about who was doing it for them, like how much the
Mhm.
last guy was doing it for, because it's usually less than you'd want to get.
Especially if he
Right.
turned
So,
down the work. If it was
yeah.
great, he'd have kept it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I've had a situation where I've gotten a small gig, and granted, like when they sent it to me, they had all these notes for this other actor, and I was like, hey, so what are these notes before? I've never seen this script before. What's the situation? Is this like notes from somebody else? And they're like, oh yeah, no, they actually didn't like this guy. So they ended up like, I just use you a lot. So, and I was like, okay, cool. And then very shortly after that, I was like, hey, I'm raising my prices soon.
You
But
also-
yeah, so sorry.
I was gonna say you also start to get a sense even when you with new clients, you'll get a sense for when a client's going to be a problem client.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I just had one where they sent me the audition, I sent in the audition, they sent me like a follow-up, they sent me like 5 emails and called twice, and I'm looking at the rate they're offering,
Mhm.
and I just sent a note back and I said, I don't think I'm right for this project.
Mhm.
And here's a
Mhm.
resource with
Word.
other voiceover people who you might use. And they thanked me, and that was the end of it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, that could be a really
Agreed.
wise move in more than one case.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
And
best
I'd
line
like to comment.
was a client saying to me, what's the least you will do this for without feeling bad about yourself?
It's
Yeah.
there was a saying that I heard a while back. It was like,
Oh,
how
God.
much would it be, something like, what's the highest amount that what's the lowest amount but you still feel you're getting a good deal? It's like,
Yeah.
but everybody's
That's fair.
so I just want to finish my thought from earlier with Lori, because what where I was going was, and if they're just, so I can't it is one of my like least favorite things to like when somebody comes back, when I get an email back from like a new potential client when I do marketing and they email me back and they do that. And they're like, oh, what are your rates? Do you have any idea how many different rates there are and how many variables there are? I want to say to these guys, like, hello, but at the same time, so what I do is at that point, if they email me back and they go, what are your rates? I do research and I go on to their website if they have one, and if it's obvious that they do one particular type or a majority, like it seems like, oh, this place does a lot of corporate narration, or they do a lot of commercials, or they do one kind of overall, they seem to do mostly one particular type of project, let's say commercials. So I'll email them back and say, well, as you know, kind of getting them in, you know, it's like, as you know, there's a lot of variables these days with voiceover, with usage and length. And it seems to me that you guys do a lot of commercial work. So here's, you know, so here are some base rates, BASE base rates that I actually start from. I don't send them to the GVAA guide because they don't know how to navigate it. There is, if you go to the GVAA rate guide, and it's just so much information that you know, so I choose numbers and I get, and I, you know, and I cite GVAA sometimes, but I'm like, you know, according to industry standard, you know, this is what it would be. This is generally, you know, where the base rates of where I start. Of course, I'm willing to open, you know, willing to talk about budget and kind of, you know, everybody's budget's a little bit different, and like how long you want to use it for. Like, I'm not going to send them 6 different numbers for one thing, you know.
Right.
So basically, yeah. So, and the other thing that I was going to say, Lori, and I don't mean to sound fresh by saying this, but go bigger. Get out of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Get out of
You know,
town.
like,
I like to joke with my clients. I tell them I do it this way. I do it good. I do it fast. I do it cheap. You can choose 2 of the 3 above.
Yeah. Pick
Extrapolate
2.
from
yeah,
there.
pick 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Lori,
idea.
do you know Alan Hunter?
I don't.
Is he still working? Oh, well, that was 20 years ago. So
Where?
Alan
Where?
Hunter used to work for MTV, and then he moved back to Birmingham and started making commercials. He worked for Food World and whatnot.
And he's working for Sirius XM now.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
I'll have to look him up, or his information. I
Well-
don't remember seeing. I did a lot of tried to research the local and stuff, but most of them, their websites are not even.
And then there was Dill Pickle Productions, or Del Pickle, maybe. I don't know. Of course, again, 20 years ago.
Just as a side thing, I try to think of the work instead of thinking of it as an intangible, which most people think of voiceover as an intangible product. I try to think of it in tangible terms. Like the analogy I use is woodworking. Are you making toothpicks? Are you making furniture? Are you making premium furniture? Are you making a Stradivarius violin? They all have different price points. They all have different amounts of work that go into them, and they all have different customers. So that's why there's so many prices. It's not all wood.
That's a good analogy. I like
good.
that.
That is good. That's
Thank
really
you,
good.
Joe.
That's great.
Let's
Yeah.
all try to go after the Stradivariuses and keep away from the toothpicks.
Keep away from the toothpicks. Yeah.
I don't think I can spell that one, so I might be,
Toothpicks are for teeth.
AI's gonna steal all the toothpicks anyway.
No kidding. Yeah, exactly. We don't need
Talk
it.
about Walmart and Tiffany. That's my, you know, it's
That's
like,
good.
do you want to put your voice, your product on a wall, like on a Walmart shelf and have the Walmart customer buy it, or do you want to put it on a Tiffany shelf and have a Tiffany customer buy it? Like, it's the same, you know, it's like you know, the people of Walmart website is enough said.
I do
There's
love me some Walmart personally.
We all need to
Get paid for both.
Yeah.
I'll go to Pick and Save. Yeah, nobody even knows what that is.
I do.
Is
I
that
do.
like Piggly Wiggly?
Yeah.
Only by
I've
Same.
never heard
I've
of
heard of
Pick and
Piggly
That's
Save.
Wiggly.
actually like a high-end grocery store, isn't it?
What Pick and
Pick and
Save?
Like a,
save?
it sounds silly, but like it, I think it's considered like one of like the bougier, isn't it? Or no?
Not the one I went to.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Keep the
Was
name
like
alone in
maybe I'm
case
thinking
it's
of
not
it.
that.
By the CBD store.
Was Pick and
remember
Save
what?
just scrawled on the wall instead of an actual sign or something?
Yeah, what Big Lots had
Just a
at
moment.
first,
There
when
he
it was
is.
just kind of like weird random crap. That was kind of Pick and Save.
Lee Gordon, hello, Lee.
Hey,
Hello,
Hey.
hello, hello.
Hey.
Good to
Hey,
see
Lee
you.
Dog.
You all's here.
oh, very well played, Gar.
What?
She did nothing. Forget it.
Dog is a good thing for old guys.
That is correct.
Yeah.
God, you got quiet all of a sudden. Geez,
I
that's
know.
I just shut everybody up. Once
He
again, I
kills the
managed to shut
buzz,
the whole
man.
crew up.
Killed the room.
Voice
Hey,
actors are great at
Patty.
that.
I'm looking at faces from
Jeez.
Patty. What's going on? I'm looking at faces from the other night. Hello, welcome back. This is your first happy hour?
Bye, Joe.
Yes,
Yeah.
first. Yeah, thank you so much. I did. I thoroughly enjoyed the other night and just thought I'd come back.
Yeah, the webinar was fun. I'm sorry we went so far over, but I feel like, I mean, there was definitely a lot of information there, so I wanted to kind of get through all of it.
It was well
What?
the time.
You go over?
I know.
It
I'm
I'm
not
shocked.
usually that much over though. That was like, ooh,
2 hours?
like
Except for when I'm here.
I just kept doing the slides and doing the slides and doing the slides. And like when I was creating the slideshow, I'm like, this might be a lot, but I think we can handle it.
We could handle it. We could handle it.
We
Well,
probably
the
went
night that,
for an
okay,
hour.
speaking as the cheap guy in the bunch, it's great that you went over.
Yeah,
We got more information.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I like I said, it was a blast. I'm glad I got together with Leslie when, it's good to have partnerships in the business, and like I love the fact that and that she's just she's just a coach. Like that's how we kind of work together well, is because we're both, like I'm also a talent, and I also mostly teach. I can't say mostly, but I guess there's a lot of sessions that I do on marketing. That's where I give most of like my tips and my advice on how to actually get work. And that's kind of like my
expertise.
wheel. Yeah. But I also really like doing technique coaching, so it kind of, but with Leslie also being a technique coach, it was like we had to kind of, it was cool. I enjoyed it. We definitely had a good time, and we'll probably do it again at some point, just to maybe with something change up a few things. But
I like
anyway.
that little expression you had.
So, but
Uh,
yeah.
I gotta head out, but nice to hang out with you
yeah,
guys.
I do too. I got somewhere to be.
Bye,
Oh,
James.
all right.
Good to see you.
Y'all
We'll
Bye-bye.
get you
Bye.
on.
Take care.
Yeah,
Take care.
we'll, we'll get you in VO
Next week.
James.
Next
Yeah,
week,
see you next
James.
week.
Okay.
Next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't see very many alcoholic drinks at this happy hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
she's got
forgot.
one.
I need to go grab one.
Everyone should
I
pick them
forgot.
up. It's okay.
It's 3:00 in the afternoon where I am.
I was gonna
Probably not.
say.
Well, lift up
we probably
yours.
have
What are you
tons.
drinking?
Oh gosh,
I'm drink-
empty water, empty coffee. Nothing.
See?
Mm.
See?
Jamie, where
Bucket
are
Go get
you?
something.
of coffee.
Chicago area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
So
couldn't
I was
remember, but-
lucky to get a great agent here 10 years ago, and there's so
Ooh.
many ad agencies in Chicago that there's tons of great big huge work. Leah
Oh.
Burnett, like Ogilvy, like
Like
all
directly though, you get them through the agents.
oh for sure through the agents,
Yeah,
but the agent
okay.
has access to those work because
Right.
before and back in the day when we used to go into the booth into the studios, they just hire local talent from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I was super lucky to like get in on that, but I'm eager to learn your technique of like direct marketing because I never learned any of that as like the actors going in as actors and getting agents and just listening to whatever your agent says and you just wait for your auditions and you never talk to the client and you never talk to the studio and you're not allowed to and you just kind of like be a good actor and shut up and like how did I buy a house last year and I'm broke this year? Sorry, you can't run it like a business. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? So I'm just interested to take more responsibility in this new age where there's more opportunities to like, let's like run our own businesses. Like you said, it's your business. You're not just an actor, you're a small business.
Yeah, you're a
Sidestepping the gatekeepers, huh?
Yeah, it's dangerous. I haven't talked to that about that to my agents.
Yeah.
And we can see that you're real shy about it too. So
It's not.
you do
I
well.
didn't get into
it's-
voiceover from being shy.
I was gonna say you're gonna do well. Just
Well,
do.
but Jamie,
Thank
you
you.
do you still have the video? Because you and I worked on marketing a while
And I
back.
haven't ever done it, but I did hire a virtual assistant to make my lists for me. I just have a hard
Okay.
time doing that like on my own. Like I do a
Yeah.
ton of, I know you're like, don't do auditions, do reach out, but I want someone else to reach out while I do auditions or build the lists for me to reach out.
Right.
So I still do
Okay.
tons of
Yeah, you
auditions.
can. I never found a VA that did it the way I wanted it to. So I just wind up doing it on my own.
My
But
girl's good so far, although
yeah,
I haven't reached
okay.
out yet. So we'll see how it goes. I can't wait to report back to you when I finally do it and say, look, I got all these fish with my.
Yeah, that's good because
Yeah.
everybody that I would train to do that, there was been probably a handful, and like they wouldn't get back, they wouldn't pull information from the right types. Like I just either it was my fault because I wasn't training them correctly, or they just weren't, it wasn't enough work for me to like, I can't hire somebody like full time or like, or even like 3 hours a day. It's like just but it's been a while since I've tried because I know that there are people that are doing that now. Like you can hire a project manager that work like a part-time project manager now, like for other stuff. I'm not talking for VO, but like people work. There are people that like this would make me bonkers, honestly, because it wouldn't work with my ADHD. But there are people that are extremely organized that are actually able to work for 25 different companies or different and basically they're a virtual project manager. So they literally do stuff. They kind of time themselves and like keep track of everything, and then they build. It's like, and they get paid per client for a certain amount of work, so that they have a full-time schedule. It's just not coming in from all one place. So the
That's
people
smart.
that I was hiring, I was trying to hire them for like 3 to 5 hours a week, and
Mhm.
then they would find something else because it wasn't enough. I couldn't keep them.
I'm sharing one with my sister. My sister has a different business than me. So we both have the same virtual assistant and we both pay her 10 hours a week. So it works out great.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've talked with I have one of my friends that has a business. I've talked with him about that, but
It's working for you. I just haven't
yeah.
made the step to like
Mhm.
invest hours of my day into that yet because I'm just like I have three kids. I have another full-time job that's not even voiceovers. So it's like I don't want to spend time doing paperwork if I could be behind the mic doing auditions.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't like auditioning.
I know. I book a lot of my
But if
auditions,
you
so it
do,
works
that's
for
great.
me. I do.
Yeah. See, and that mine came from like not really like booking that much. Like when people don't get to know me, there's nothing about me that stands out. My reads were just, I don't know what it was, but it was like, I also kind of quit doing them like pretty early in the business. Like we're talking 10, 12 years now. I haven't really like
That's
auditioned
crazy to
much.
me. How could you not audition? That's amazing.
I don't like working for free. I just don't, it's like I have demos, like to me, I didn't get into the business to sit to like, I mean, I came from corporate America. I
Yeah,
didn't
not
want
me.
to
I mean,
like
I came from
straight,
acting, so it's different
yeah.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
Different
Well,
backgrounds.
Hi,
right.
actor.
I mean, I came from radio too, but I did voice, I did like, I was in corporate America full time. I was in a booth for 40 hours a week. I wasn't going to trade
No.
that for 40 hours in the booth.
Right, for sure.
So, that was me. The time freedom was more important
Yeah.
than what I was doing.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So that was, and
Well, I
that's
hope to
my
reach a hybrid of that. I hope to really reach a hybrid where I'm doing less auditions that are just like auditions wasted with like lots and lots of people, and more like auditions for the rosters that I'm on. Like, you know, what you're saying, that's what I want.
Right.
So I really
Agents,
do
yeah.
have a goal. Yeah, agents and like, you know, small production companies where you're on a small roster. That's, I love that, because of
The
course
way
my
better
booking
chance of
ratio
book.
is super high. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So, you know, but for, you know, for me to listen to some people that have done 600, 1,000 auditions before they book one job on the pay to plays, I'm like, are you nuts? Like,
Yeah.
what?
They need
What
training.
are
That's
you doing with your life?
ridiculous. That's,
I
that's
miss the days when we would drive to the city. It
right.
was the same 23 people in every audition room.
Yep.
And we just rotated booking the jobs.
That you're one of the originals. You're one of those guys.
He's the OG.
And
Sounds like
I
good
even wore a
times.
beeper. My
Good.
agent would send me a thing. I'd run to the nearest payphone, call him up,
Wow.
he'd give me an address and say, show up.
I love it. I love that you're still here learning the new stuff. Good for you for adapting. Some of the older guys in early in the business are like, this, I'll die on this hill, and they're dying on the hill. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna learn something new and still work.
I have my background is broadcasting and acting.
Cool.
And the two come together beautifully in voice work because and when I was teaching at ATC Studios back when I worked in radio, we got free Broadway tickets all the time. And this was in the days when you went to the city to audition. So I would teach voiceover from an actor's point of view.
Love that.
What's your objective? Who are you after? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I would need to teach them also audition etiquette. What happens when you show up in the building, how to sign in, how to do the audition, say thank you and leave, and don't call them back, all that stuff. Anyway, I had one student at the beginning of the 6 weeks, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is wasting his money. And 6 weeks later, when we did the mock audition, he won the Broadway tickets.
What?
Yeah, it's
That
just
wasn't
amazing.
Jack George, was it?
Pick it up. I don't know Jack George. Oh, Jack George.
You remember Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's Jack George now? For the rest
I
of
don't
us.
know
Come
either.
on.
I'm sorry.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Jack
Before
was a
my
guy we
time.
worked with. Jack was a guy we worked with who ate nothing but pepperoni pizza.
Ooh.
He did the overnight shift, and his flatulence was legendary.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
I'm glad I don't know him. I'm glad.
I actually had to put the
Said
chair out on the.
God, don't. It's gross.
I had
Don't
to
talk about
put the
chairs.
chair on the balcony in the wintertime.
Oh my God.
Just
dear God.
and 23 degrees outside, and the chairs on the balcony. The doors are wide open. We got people beeping, traffic noise all over the place, and I didn't care because I had to breathe.
You have paid your dues, man. You have paid your dues.
That's why I'm saying, what are you talking about, old guys? Huh?
I don't mean old guys. I mean old world voiceover. It's been fast. I mean, I got into voiceover in 2006. So much has changed since then. So much. And if I didn't change in 2020, you adapt or you die. I would have, you know, it would have been terrible.
Yes, exactly. A lot of it blew up in 2020.
Yes.
My first commercial voiceover that was on a commercial station was 1984.
Oh my gosh. I was
And
4.
boy, the business has changed.
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, dang.
Neither was I.
Love
My
it.
first one was 1974.
Oh my gosh.
Who said that? Who said that?
Lee said that. You the guy that said
I did my
CBS.
first one in 1973 or 4. And when I found out, I lived in Southern Oregon. So there was a huge amount of work there. And it was all studio work. And the guy said, and I'm a student. I was a student in college back then. And I said, so how do you get into this? And he says, well, you've got to get a coach. And they're $80 an hour back then.
It's a lot.
And you won't find them here. You'll find them in LA and New York and maybe Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I didn't pursue this until later.
Like,
Well, no,
I was really upset I'm sorry.
Go-
I was
go ahead.
upset because I'm originally from New York. Oh, thanks. I'm originally from New York, and my mom moved us to Florida as a kid. And growing up, I was always so mad because like I was really into like arts and animation and all the,
Oh
doing
boy.
like studio and music. I was because that's how I originally got most of my equipment that I actually still use some of it now was when I was doing music in like my early 20s and like late teens. And so like I think about it when back then and I was like, man, why did we leave? Because I would absolutely love that experience of like, going to studios themselves. And granted, like I dated a musician as well, so it was cool to like go to like the music studios themselves in like Atlanta and certain places like that, mostly in Atlanta because I did live there for a while, but like in
Where in
Florida,
Florida are
I
you
find
living
a
now?
really I live in Tampa.
Cool.
Okay.
So I was
Oh.
looking up production companies and all that, and I ended up having an intern at my day job who she's like, yeah, my family owns a production company and stuff, but a lot of them do more events, like outdoor events and like private events for corporate. So it's not as much as like commercial work or, even like digital video work. So it's just kind of a little difficult to sift through like which production companies are what, and I just feel like it's just so much more abundant in the city.
Possibly.
Well, I
Have
think
you
that's
have
what,
you
but that's what Trish addresses in her thing is to find out where to go to send your stuff to.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
really valuable. That's really valuable right there. That whole technique is great.
And
The
there's a
the hustle, right?
Yeah, where to find it and send it to the right people. You
Mushroom
know,
marketing,
if you don't do corporate, why bother those guys? They don't want to hear it.
Hmm.
yeah.
You know?
there's an agent in your area in Florida called Sunspots. Do any of y'all work with Sunspots? Okay. Anyway, you might
No.
mention
They're
that
not
you're
really an
local.
agent, are they? They're
They're like
like,
an everything. They're like an
yeah.
agency production company. They don't let you use your real name, but I've gotten work with them for Disney. So I mean, you might as well reach out to them if you. I mean, I don't know if
I
you
did most of
recommend
my
them, Trish.
political stuff with them. I
Right. They do a lot of
Yeah.
political
all the time,
stuff.
yeah.
Right. So anyway, like I would just not give up on agents as well. Not only
Mhm.
the production companies, but the agents will do that sifting for you is what I thought of when you said
Yeah.
sifting it out. Like they know the good jobs because they're getting a percentage of it. If it's not good enough for them to take a percentage, they're
Yeah.
not messing with it. So those are good
Yeah.
jobs for you.
A lot of
So
the
thank you
larger
for that,
spots,
Sunspots.
Yes. Yeah.
a
Reach
Yeah,
out to them.
because
lot
Be
I
of
like,
met
I'm
an
local.
agent. So I met an agent through so I do costume design and like stuff for like some theaters and all that and like local places. So I had met this mom who was one of the moms of the kids there, but it was like a whole thing of kids for a photo shoot, and she ended up being a talent manager a few months ago. And then she was just like, we were talking, and she's like, hey, you should get signed with us, or blah blah blah. Did some talking. I actually signed up for them, and then recently this week, she actually left the company and decided to start her own. But then I got a message from the rest of the casting crew, or like the rest of the agency, saying that she's no longer with them, but they wish her the best, blah blah, blah, that they'll be in charge of communications from now on. And then I sent them an email and they haven't gotten back to me. But then she's also telling me that, since she's starting her new and then she'll put me on hers, but I haven't gotten any contracts or anything from that. So I'm just kind of like in limbo. But yeah, I definitely should check out Sunspot.
I say stick with the girl who believes in you. And if you're her only client, she'll work harder for you.
yeah.
I know, right? No, she's super cool. But it's just it's a little frazzled, so it's like sometimes like the communication is cut a little short, or like it's not as like in depth with what she's trying to say, that I have to like ask her questions. I ask her a question and then she answers, but then I have to answer a question because she just mistyped something. She's
She's
like one of those hippie moms.
It might be a red flag. And I would watch out for management companies because they sometimes take more, and like you have to give them a
30%.
percentage of all the things you
Total
earn. And like,
income. Oh, I did that once. I mean,
Yeah.
you did?
yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's terrible. I was like, no way. I'm not going to give you stuff that I booked myself or my agent booked. Or they're like, yeah, if you're making whatever you get, I'm like, so management companies,
Yeah.
be wary, but agents that don't ask for any money up front,
Oh,
No,
anyone who
they
asks for money
didn't.
up front is a scam.
right.
Oh,
Anyone who
definitely.
asks
So
for money up front is a scam.
with when I first signed with the it was Beyond Beauty because they mostly do like in-person commercials, but she's like, we do have some VO work. And then I'm also on their account on casting networks, but I don't see a lot coming for kind of like my niche of anything coming through. A lot of it has been male centered or like, anyways. So with them, when it's non-exclusive, I just can't sign with another person within like a certain, distance geographic wise, and they take 20%. But she said with hers that I'll do 10%. And I've never paid them a dime. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's something.
Yeah, it's something. Hey, start wherever you can start and keep going for sure.
Thank y'all. Cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get somebody, sorry to like totally take up all the time. I just wanted to
No.
get some kind of tidbits because I've been a little bit in limbo about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quantity, quality. So like do a lot and then rein in and make it more high quality. More is better at first, then hone it and just pick the best.
Word.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Thanks.
responses I get is thanks for your submission and interest in our company, but we use an agent. And they
Good.
won't
What
tell me.
agent? Maybe I'll get with them.
They won't tell me. Yeah.
I actually did years ago get an agent that way because the client actually told me who they're like, we actually went to your website and we really like your stuff, except we're very loyal with using this local agent. So here's their information. This is the
Perfect.
contact name. Please tell her I sent you.
Perfect. That's great.
I
That's
emailed
awesome.
her and she put me on the roster, and the next thing I know, I got hired through that agent for the ad agency. It's like
You're bringing her work. That's so smart.
crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
But that only really happened once that I can recall. So it's like it can happen, but it's not like it happens all the time. So, but that's why it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
This is all like marketing, everything like the muckstruck, I call it muckstruck marketing. That's like the process that I teach. And that's the most tried and true method. But when it comes to that I found that works across the board pretty much for everybody if they put the time into it, right? But there are a lot of different things that you'll try, or that like I've had other voice actors tell me that, oh, you should check out this, you should do it this way, and or try this, and then I try it and it doesn't work for me, or vice versa. Like with like somebody told me about, was it Yelp a while back? People talk about Backstage and like Mandy, and I'm like, I don't have any luck on any of these places. So like it's clearly there are some people doing well with certain platforms, and it depends on what kind of voice you are. Like there's a lot of different variables. I know somebody that sent out 100 postcards to a very specific niche, and like he printed them on his home printer.
Oh God.
Like and literally doubled his business.
No.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Good for him.
The thing is I sent out 2,000 postcards, and I teamed up with another voice actor, a guy. So we had a guy and a girl on like us. We bought these spent a lot of money on postage, getting the postcards printed, beautiful, glossy 7x9
Oh, nice and
postcards,
big.
not the little ones, the bigger ones. Got them professionally formatted and printed and pre-postage, and they'll spent a lot of money, and also sent them out to a huge list and got zilch from it. So
that's what we call bye-bye money.
but that's the business too. It's like you just never know. Just like I've recommended clients or recommended talent to clients, and like they wind up not working together because it's just not, the fit isn't right for whatever reason. It doesn't mean that either of them are in the wrong, or that they're it's just not a good fit. And that's good. You're going to have that with agents too. Remember that you're not going to just sign with any agent that is willing to have you. It's got to be a good fit. It has to, so you have to like them. Like I actually mentioned earlier, my very first coach, it wasn't a fit. Once I met her and I was like, oh, I don't really like you that much. Like,
it's personal. It's you. It's your voice. It's your spirit. You have to like the people you're working with.
There has to be, and not, like I said, she's not a bad person or anything. It's just the fit wasn't right. And so it was like, and then I found Leslie, and I found Hugh. Like like years later, Hugh Klitsky, you know, and like he's my current commercial coach. And like, you know, it's a great fit, you know, it's just a great fit, but it has to be, it's a personal thing with agents, with coaches, with, you know, everything really, to just, you know, kind of make sure that you're learning the way that you learn, that they teach the way that you learn. And, you know, and also, like I said, not every, you know, going back to the marketing thing that I mentioned earlier, like not everything works for everybody, you know, it's like some people, like I don't do well with sending out, like I send out postcards now. The way that I send out postcards is I do it as a follow-up to somebody I've already talked to.
Mm.
So it's like, it's a keeping in touch kind of thing. It's not a, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do, because I don't get a result.
Not an initial intro.
Yeah. I
Right.
don't get results from postcards generally. So
Mhm.
Chris, hello. Welcome, girl. How are you?
Much
Good.
better.
Good.
Just a
Hi,
quick question on
Chris.
Hugh Klitsky. How long does it usually take for him to get back to you?
I don't know. Why did you reach out and you haven't heard back?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Well, if it's he may have just missed it for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm thinking.
so I would, if it's
I
been
think
more
he's
than
in
like 3
Dallas for
days.
he's in Dallas for that VO thing
Oh,
down
that's
there
right.
this
Mm.
weekend.
Oh, is
Dallas
One
he?
this
voice.
Oh,
weekend.
Yeah, that's
is
One
that
voice.
One Voice? Okay.
I think he is.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
a good idea. I didn't think of that.
might be
I
it
totally
too.
forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yep. I didn't go, so I don't think of it. Not top of
I'm
mind.
like 20 minutes
Damn it.
away.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
And did you get like a 1-day pass or anything to pop in there or no?
No, I'm working all week. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been to a
Radio.
conference forever.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah. Yeah.
That's why I keep like popping in and out of here with the video.
I see. So how are you not mute? You're not muting yourself, but we can't hear. I see you talking sometimes and we
I have
can't
two
hear
different
you.
microphones, so I'll mute my microphone, but
Oh, on that
I
end.
have the other one
Not
Smart.
muted too.
for the radio.
Oh,
So I have one for like everything else and then one for the radio stuff. Because sometimes they have me do like radio stations and TV at the same time. So I'll like go from doing a radio station and I'll have the producers from the TV show like in my ear and I'll just switch where I'm at.
okay.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds confusing.
It is.
It is.
It can
You
be,
gotta
for
make sure
sure.
all the proper buttons are pressed before you utter anything.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Can I
used to
ask a-
run CBS and UPN at the same time. It was very confusing.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, not to hold it.
Who started?
Oh,
some-
I was asking, I like to hear your feedback that you got. They said, hi, sorry, we work with agents. Does anybody else have any other, since I haven't started that yet officially, I'm just still building a list. Does anybody else have responses that they typically get? Or like, what do you do with what you hear back when you do hear back?
Dead silence.
Uh-oh. No one else is sending stuff out either.
Hear
Not
back
just
from
me.
who?
No, I've been sending
cold-
stuff out, but
the
I
cold
I
emails.
kind of just started this, and I usually don't get. I usually don't get I got my first response from an agent today, actually, but he just messaged me to let me know he saw my. Basically, he appreciates the message, and I think he's going to message me later. I had submitted to them a while back, like a month or so ago, and didn't hear anything. And then he actually liked. He followed me on Twitter and liked my
cool.
demo post and said, "Hey, nicely done." So I messaged him again saying, "Hey, I thought this was a good opportunity to reach out to you. I reached out a while back."
Yeah.
And he replied saying, like, I really appreciate you sending me a message. And that was it.
Okay.
So I'm like waiting to hear more.
Okay. How much do you
I-
appreciate it? Enough to talk
Yeah.
to me or not?
Well, and I'm autistic, so at first I was like, I sat there for 45 minutes waiting for the rest of the
shoot.
message.
Poor guy. Oh my
Oh,
And then
no.
That's
I
okay.
emailed a friend and I'm like, should I tell him I think he forgot the rest of his message?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's him saying he got your message and he'll get it later. I was like, okay. I
Okay.
don't know why you didn't say that, but okay.
Hopefully he didn't just forget to hit send on the rest of his conversation, which is like, I'd love to represent
That's-
you.
that's
and
what
then
I-
he's
yeah,
waiting for
so
you to be
I'm
like,
just-
he's like,
I'm
where
just
is this guy?
waiting. Yeah. So if I don't hear from him in like a day or two, I'll message him again and be like,
That's
"Was there
cool
more
that
to
you're on
that?"
Twitter with your demo. Is anybody else on Twitter or X with their demo? That's
Yeah.
a great idea. I'm not. That's a great
Right.
idea. Smart.
Yeah, I
Made a
reach
little
out to
planning on it.
everyone who's on Twitter and in the business. Not
Smart.
Twitter. I'm sorry, I'm
X.
wrong. No, LinkedIn is what I was thinking.
Oh,
Same thing.
LinkedIn, that's different.
Oh,
Okay, that's
I've been
different.
getting the most meaningful action so far. I mean, I like I said, I've just really started the looking for work part of this after
Okay.
years of training. But
You're in the same boat as me then with that.
I got I'm getting the most meaningful responses on Twitter by messaging indie game devs and whatnot, just saying, hey, I like your project. If you need somebody, I'm here. And I'm getting a lot of like, we're not there yet, but if we are,
Keep you in mind.
and I got one guy that was like, unless I get a publisher, I'll never have the budget for that. And I actually offered to do it for free because the game looks really cool, and I figured it's just good practice anyways. So yeah, that's where I've been getting the most meaningful responses, it seems like, so far.
Cool. Do you also have a LinkedIn?
Are you
Just
part of
curious?
Voice Acting Club?
I haven't started. I am on the voice acting club, and I auditioned for a lot of stuff on there. Nothing yet.
Like on their
I'm not
Discord?
So I'm on LinkedIn. I've been a salesperson for years and years, and so that side of things is on there. And I was just talking with Trish about how to set up like a separate page within that profile, so I got to get that set up. But I haven't used LinkedIn is the one that I haven't really utilized yet.
I use Instagram just because I like Instagram, but who knows?
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Kind of is where the ones I'm using.
TikTok as a voice actor, be like, hey, I'm a voice actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Some videos to post up there.
Okay. I'm on
I've seen some
Facebook and
voice-
Instagram and LinkedIn. I just don't understand very well because I'm not from corporate, and like I just understand Facebook and Instagram better. I'm very visual, but like it's visual, it's not audio. Why am I? How am I posting on Instagram? Can't even post a link to the YouTube videos showing your cool work. So it's like, huh. But
Well, you can post the video though.
I don't know if you're allowed to. Can you like download?
Post a video to YouTube? Yeah, you can post videos to
Yeah, you can.
All of those sites are trying to compete with YouTube, so they do the same things now, like all of them.
You can post a video to like your video voiceover demo, but like I guess I don't know about like I just did a cool thing for Porsche.
As long
and
as
I'm trying to, but I can't think I can download Porsche's thing from YouTube and then share it from my own account. I don't know about the rules on that.
I think you have to ask them, right?
Yeah, I don't want to.
There are third party like download YouTube videos and then upload it again, or you might be able to get a copy from them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you ask them for
or
a copy,
if
that's the best.
they have it published, you just post the link.
Yeah,
But the links are just hard to follow.
I
on
get what
YouTube.
she's saying. On
on
Instagram, it's not
there's
really,
no way to click it. If on
it's
Facebook
not really
you
built
can.
for following.
Exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what you said, perfect, exactly, same page. And on Facebook too, it's not like if you post a YouTube link on Facebook, they're like, we don't want to take you out of our platform if you're not posting it from Facebook, so you have to post it in the comments, link in comments, so you don't get suppressed. It's all about the algorithms.
Yeah, but then people think that's a scam.
That thing called the duet, like you can duet the thing and just kind of like pointing to it or whatever, and then that way you're
Yeah, that's TikTok.
And that's
Oh,
TikTok.
on
that's
TikTok,
a good
yeah.
idea.
You can
Yeah, I'd be like, that's
This has it
me.
though too. It's called remix on Instagram, and you can do it. So
Okay.
yeah, that's not a bad idea, Patty.
That's a good idea.
One thing
Anything you can record the screen, your computer screen on your phone,
Okay.
and then post that, but that would be kind of amateurish.
Copywritery.
Yeah,
Copy.
you can just literally video it from your phone or your computer, like it has screen recording, so you don't have to like use a alternate thing. So if you just, like a screenshot from your laptop or screen record and then have that and be like, hey, and then post that within a video
I think that's okay.
that you just upload as an MP4. So I feel like that would also be the easiest thing. If you see the link on your computer already, screen record, there's like free plug extensions for that, and then you just download it as like an MP4. It's already on your computer.
You're going to be our technical wizard.
actually-
You're going to be the girl who's going to help us with all this technology.
You can
Now
use,
that I
like,
think about it,
Yeah.
maybe
record
Jesse can
to
confirm.
your-
There's
your
actually
computer.
there's a sticker you can attach onto your stories that is a link itself, and you can attach a link, if
Oh,
I remember correctly.
really?
On
Yeah,
Instagram.
there's a
So, and
hyperlink
it'll be a
now.
clickable link on the story itself.
Okay.
So you could post a screenshot of a video saying, "Check out
dear
my Porsche
God.
commercial.
Okay.
Follow this link."
Thank you. I'm going to check it
I
out.
just thought it's in the
Smart.
stickers.
Yeah, I'm trying to-
of all places.
Stickers. Interesting. Who figures
Yeah,
that?
if
I
I remember
know.
correctly.
Good to know.
I'm trying to like get up on my digital stuff because even though I would still consider myself pretty young, I'm not hip to all the cool technology. So, and like one of my coaches is like, yeah, you look young, you sound young, and I'm pretty young, but like she's like, yeah, you need to get on the social medias. Like, you know, their generation loves to do that. And I'm like, man, I need to be on these socials. So like the social content and just like looking up how that's done and like scheduling content creation is what I'm big on right now. Have I recorded anything? Yes. Have I posted it? No. Because I'm like that's why I wanted to do voice acting. So I don't have to be on camera. I don't even see my face. And now I have to be like, hey guys, this is so awkward. It's just so awkward.
For what it's
At
worth,
least
I'm
you're
one of the
cute.
most technically savvy people I know, and I'm still constantly lost. So
It's the autism thing.
It's
How do you think it feels to be? How do you think it feels to be
Mr.
Mr.
YouTube.
Stone Tablet?
Uh,
I
When I
mean,
first
I
started
just
talking to some of the
I
AD
just
directors
traded
at Crunchyroll,
paper.
he told me like
Are
you
you
need
transcribing
to be
to
on
a bird that
TikTok
chisels it?
Yeah, I just traded my Stone Tablet for paper about a month ago, and now
Yeah,
I'm.
and the bird looks at the camera and says, it's a living.
And your
And he's
printer
still
You
thought
carrying
updated
a
your
clipboard
chisel
too.
to a Dremel.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
here
my
it is. I
gosh!
actually found it. So,
oh, cool.
so you just record your story. I literally took 2 seconds of pointing
Okay.
up at the ceiling. So you have your story, and then you click or you tap. Gosh, I can't see now. So the sticker thing.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it? It's
The square with the
sorry, yeah,
diamond?
the square, the third one in.
Okay.
Third one. Okay.
That one. And then it has link all the way down at the bottom there.
Wow. That is very
Whoa,
cool.
that's
Sweet.
cool.
Tap that and then it'll just go into you can put the URL in there, and then if they swipe up, basically when they're watching the story, it'll
Yeah.
indicate that they can swipe up to go to the link.
That is cool.
Oh,
It's
cool.
not intuitive at all that they put it in stickers.
Can anyone
Yeah,
translate that
I
into
agree.
Android?
No.
That's good to know. Thank you.
I'm not that big on Instagram, but like I have it, but it's probably one of my least favorite platforms.
For a voiceover, it doesn't even make sense. Just picture. I'm sending pictures of me like I'm in the booth again. I'm in the booth. I'm in the booth. There's nothing going on in here. This is stupid.
Yeah. And I don't really, I don't get voiceover work a lot from like, a lot of people think, oh, if I put myself out there, I'm going to like probably get VO work from like Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok or whatever. But like most of the time it's somebody that you already know that is just kind of helping, like they're following you and you'll be top of mind. And that's why
That's
hire
what I would do it for. It's just branding. It's just like you're in their head,
Yeah.
just like the postcard thing. Like they'll
Right.
just see you.
Is that Rob?
Is it okay to tag production companies and clients that you're working with on stuff on that? Is that a no-no?
Well, I'm sure it's fine, but the way that I look at it is there's a lot of poachers in this business.
What does that mean?
Like if you
Oops.
tag, because are you connected with a lot of other voice actors?
I'm talking about like the clients and producers.
I
Who cares
know.
about voice actors?
Yeah.
I
Connect
think
with
what
a lot of voice
No.
actors and they see that tag. I still don't know. Yeah.
So what do they
That's what
do
I
with
mean by
it?
poaching. Like people go there. Like there will be voice actors that see that you tag. It's like, oh, like Jamie just worked with so and so. I wonder if they have any new projects coming up. I'm going to send my stuff
Oh,
in.
so then you're like showing your clients? Interesting. Interesting. I
That's
didn't think
why.
about that.
It's nothing that I've ever done. I've always felt very weird doing that, but I know that
Right.
there are people that are out there that do it and here's the thing, like, this is why I also advocate doing your own research before post. Like I see so many people on like Facebook and the voiceover forums going, hey, has anybody ever worked with so-and-so from blah, blah, blah productions? I just wanna
Everybody
see
adds
if
it to
they're
their future
legit.
client list.
Everybody's
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
Yeah.
hello.
What's
Like,
new?
you're literally giving away your client list like
Interesting.
one by one. And like, you're just having this, because everybody sees that and they're like, oh,
While you're doing research on them, I'm going to reach out to
it's
them.
a free lead for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
I would
and
I
it's-
like to put the hashtag of their profession. Casting director, hashtag casting director, hashtag casting, hashtag director.
That's what I've been doing on,
You're not
on Twitter.
You're not tagging them, but if they are posting, regularly and looking for, that kind of stuff, then
Interesting.
wham, it hits them first.
Oh, interesting. I didn't
And
think
I
about
would
that.
be really careful before posting projects you've worked on because
Yeah, in case there's an NDA or something like that. Or
there's
not
an
NDA, but
NDA, or they're trying to keep the product under wraps until a certain date.
Right.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
probably always best to ask.
98% of my
Yeah, it
narrative
never hurts to ask.
I can't use because of NDAs. I can't put
Right.
it on my demos.
Too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, you wouldn't be like, oh, the brand new line of such and such will launch this fall. I just recorded. God, I wouldn't do that. But like,
I just did this is years ago, but they flew me to Toronto for a video games TV commercial, and it was an awesome spot. And a few months later, I called and asked them if I could have a copy. They said, well, the product never went to market, so you can't have a copy. We had
oh,
to destroy all the footage.
Huh.
Oh.
interesting.
Oh.
That sounds rare.
Yeah, but they put me up in a
Yeah,
really nice
even if they
hotel.
don't use it, right? Even if they don't use it, you
Yeah.
can't have it.
Right.
Right.
It's theirs. Your voice is literally theirs on that. It's
Yeah.
not your commercial.
Yeah.
Look at my commercial. They're like, no, this is not your
It was
commercial. This is a
everything.
voiceover.
It was a full body on camera, 30
Oh.
seconds.
Oh, wow.
It was an on-screen thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what the term in perpetuity means? Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm late.
Hi,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Okay,
Hey,
hi.
Chris.
It just means forever. In perpetuity just means we get to use it
Perpetually.
forever for anything.
It's not that they will, but they can.
Does it mean I can't have it?
No,
No,
Not
you can have
Not
it
necessarily.
too.
necessarily.
Oh
It's-
yeah, yeah. If you can get a copy of it, most of the time though, if you ask, they won't. They just don't. They never get around to.
Yeah,
sending
they don't
it.
even
Yeah.
respond to you.
I have an audition. It's going to be shown for a video to be shown at a conference. And it says in perpetuity, but it's only going to be shown once.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like they have the right to use it,
Mhm.
but they're probably not because it's just going to be at this one conference.
It's probably fine.
Well, here's a thought. Maybe you've done this or not. What about getting with the engineer? Like if you have to go in studio to do something and say, hey, can you blind copy me on this when you send it for approval or after it's approved?
Mm,
No.
Because
No.
legally,
not usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah. It depends on your contract, I would think. I mean,
Yeah. And studio owners really freak out when you talk to anybody but them.
Mm.
You're really
Yeah.
not allowed to talk directly to the client or to the engineers. It's just considered ignorant etiquette.
yeah.
That's
It's,
my big concern about the old world and the new world. So, like, what is ignorant etiquette these days? Even if we're reaching out to people directly, I mean, we're
Yeah, that's
you
different.
know,
it happens sometimes, acting like not purposely. So but at the same time, like I try to be very, aware, I guess, of just who I'm, because if I'm on let's say
Have
I'm
a good one.
connected with the production studio and I'm
See ya,
doing like a
Robert.
Source Connect
See ya.
session.
See you, Robert.
Bye, Robert.
Bye.
And if I'm on with the client, but the client's the end, like if I'm on with the ad agency or the production company and they're playing middleman with the Source Connect and I'm talking with them, but the client's also on the line, I will, like, if we get a rapport going, chit chat, whatever, and it's in front of my client, the agency, sometimes if like the client drops off and then you're kind of like, sometimes you just chit chat after the client drops off the call, they direct you, you get the session done, and then you wind up chit chatting with your client, the middle, again, the agency. I'll be like, hey, do you mind if would I be able to connect with so-and-so? Would that be like, sometimes I ask permission, honestly, I actually go like, hey, I like to connect with clients on LinkedIn. That's what, and so, sometimes I'll be like, are you okay with that? I wouldn't, it's like, it has to be the right time and the right client though. Like if I work with the client for several times, but I actually work with them for a bunch of times before asking something like that. but it doesn't really, it's like, and they'll be honest with me. I've had them say no. I've had them say no. Not often, but it's happened. So
Yeah, they want you to go through them. You're theirs,
Yeah.
you're their baby.
Yeah,
I have
and
a
I would
question
never
about
go
that.
around them, but the only reason I want to connect with them on LinkedIn, not because I think that they're going to hire me directly, but it solidifies the relationship. And
Right.
if you post to LinkedIn and they see it because they're following you or that they're
Right.
connected with you, it's going to remind them that you exist. And then they
Totally.
call the producer and they're like, hey, we really liked Trish the last time. Like, let's get her in again, kind of stuff. Like, it's just it's a PR or not PR, but like, it's a personable kind of like,
It's building a relationship.
Agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is huge. It's still a people business. I continue, it's still a people business.
Often, if I ask permission, if I can get a copy of the finished work and they say, yeah, no problem, of course, they'll never send it to me. Those situations, I have somehow accidentally walked out with a copy of the script and will reproduce it at home for my demo reel.
Oh, ballsy.
Well, you have permission, so
Yeah, they gave me an okay.
Yeah. Okay with no follow-up is F off.
Right.
But if they say you can have a copy and nothing ever comes, that's a case where if you know the engineer, you can
said,
you
"Hey,
can
they said."
then it's legit to contact the engineer and say, hey, they said I could have one. Can you send me one?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a quick
What I
question
like is-
about sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
have a
No, go
quick
ahead.
question about so you were talking about obviously if you try to connect with the client and you used your agency as a middleman through that. So if that were the case, and so if you have an agent that's like a regional agent, and if that client comes back to you again for future work, I'd assume it'd be proper etiquette to also make sure that you include your talent to make sure that they get their commission again, since you've
I
had
was just
repeat
about to
work from
mention
them.
Totally.
Okay.
I like it when the client comes to me at, on LinkedIn or wherever, and they want to approach me for further work. Okay, fine. Send the check to the agent and he will cut me in. He will cut my check from that. And it just solidifies that my agent is in charge because my agent got me the initial contact.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So as long as they know that they're sending the agent the check, the agent gets the check and goes, what the hell? Oh my God. Oh, Mike did this. Yeah, great.
Smart.
Yeah, teamwork.
The way of getting.
Right.
So I just wanted to establish that.
You're getting work without them, it's like, and it doesn't, but yeah, it puts them more on their puts you on their radar even more if they weren't paying attention to you before, which happens,
Yeah. And that's like, is this agent working out for me? Like, do I need to get a new one? How many agents do you folks have? Show me on your fingers that you like. Have
I got 4.
Four. How many are you getting most of your work from?
Yeah.
I get most of my work from me.
Shoot.
Well, yeah, okay. Out of the agents,
Out of the agents,
7, 5 here. I have 5 here in the States and 2 overseas, but I really only hear regularly from 2 of them.
Got it.
And so maybe 3, but I still, it's less than 20% of what my income, right? So for VO. So because I have a lot of direct marketing clients, like I have clients that just hire me directly and call me, but I don't have to audition for.
Love that. That's
Right.
goals.
What I'm trying to
Hashtag
do.
goals. Trish goals.
Yeah.
Boss.
It's it's good to have the portfolio though. Honestly, like, because it wasn't always like that. I started out on the pay to plays. Like the pay to plays were super new. And so there was a lot less people when I started, like I was on voices.com before it was voices.com.
And they were a lot less expensive too.
Yeah. Well,
Is it just voice?
it was interactive voices.com. And Voice 123, I was one of the first like 200 members.
Wow.
And so, and I only know that because I went to a conference in New York City around the time, and I was like, oh, I had been on the site for maybe 6 months at that point. And I went to a conference at Jacob Javits Center in the city. It was something to do, I don't know. Voice 123 had a table there. They had like a promotional table, like in the exhibit area. And I came up to them and I was like, oh, I'm on your site. Like, I really like it. She's like, oh, who are you? And I was like, oh, I'm Trish Basani. And she's like, oh, I know who you are. Because that's how many people were on the site. It was like small enough that she recognized names and she knew that I was booking. She's like, yeah, you're actually doing pretty well. She must have been involved in like the back end of like, I did a lot of work on, on the pay to play. So that's why I'm not anti pay to play. I just encourage people to also, because people feel like you feel like you're more productive when you audition, right? Because you're doing something. You're getting an audition, you're recording it, you're sending it in. You feel like you've done something active and proactive and productive. But it's only for one job. So if you're spending time, if you have to spend time, because I don't know anybody that has a 1-to-1 ratio. Book like you audition for one thing and you book one thing, right?
No way.
So it means that you're having to audition multiple times in order to get one job, which means that you can't grow your business and you constantly have to work to get work.
Right.
And so at one point when you do direct marketing, it's like you're putting when you put lines in the water. It's not about one audition at a time. It's here's my demo. And if you're reaching out to the right places, ad agencies, production companies, with your demo, they have your demo. You can get multiple projects from one client. And that's the idea of direct marketing. And so from there, you can actually grow. You can get multiple projects from one contact. And you don't even have, and in some cases, of course, you wind up auditioning if you wind up on like a short list, which is how, but most of the stuff that I audition for is a smaller, like I'm up against 2 or 3 other people.
It's great. Oh, it'd be awesome.
It is, so, but again, it's like a diversified portfolio. Like you have to have a little bit of everything until you realize what really works for you. And then you go all in,
Hey, Trisha, is there a video about that?
There is. And it's well, yeah, and what Chris, you got the BLT thing, right? So I'm actually you got the BLT pack that Leslie and I, the 297 pack. I think I might actually throw in the video like as a late night, like I think I'm going to. I have to re-record it because I feel so. So the video that Jamie and I'm trying to think of who else who's done the Muckstruck video or through UVT originally.
Yeah, that was really fun. Oh, sorry, is that not a thing anymore?
It's the same. I'm not with UVT anymore. No.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that.
But no,
I'm late to the party.
I'm still doing the marketing sessions for people that go through the program.
No problem. I'm not in the program. I just liked our meeting together.
No,
it was
you
super
and I
cool.
did that separately. Yeah, that was cool. The Muckstruck. Yeah, so I call it Muckstruck when it's just the separate, like it's the 1 hour video and 1 hour with me, and that's the package, right? So I sell it kind of like separately, but when I'm trying to think. Oh, well, you can get it through the direct marketing checklist too, but there's, but when it came to the marketing session, like I call it Muckstruck when it's kind of separate, but that's just the method that I teach. But so that original video is still kind of mentioning the past stuff. And
make a new one. I'll have it. Give it to me.
Yeah. So because I want to include it in the actual bit. Like I know it's as a second bonus because Chris, I know you asked about it a while back and like you're in VO Vantage and I'm like, I'm thinking about just including it. So, Gar, have you seen that? Because have you seen the video, the marketing video? I'm thinking about throwing it in there.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
It was somewhere. I keep
Because
doing all these.
I'm including the big spreadsheet that goes with it.
Yeah.
kind of do Google Doc, but
I like
Boy,
that. That's cool.
if you've got that video, toss it in because it's great. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
well, like I
even if
said,
it
I'm
even
gonna
as a
redo it.
repeat, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo it again and just kind of like maybe add a few extra things that are included, but
That'd be cool.
you know, so yeah, I planned on kind of crafting an email tonight, sending it out because the deadline for the package is tomorrow at noon. So, I want to put it out there and let anybody that might be the clincher, you know, for some people, I think also with getting it, but also for people that already purchased it,
I'd
you
love
know,
to
it's
see
going
it.
to be a huge bonus. But that 1 hour video, I think it was 90 minutes, the one, Jamie,
Yeah,
that
it
you
was more than
probably
an
saw.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was the hour-long version, what I did was I went into the 90-minute version. I took
And pruned
notes.
it.
I watched it and I took notes on and bullet pointed it because that 90-minute version, I literally just off the cuff.
Yeah, I
hit
know. It was
record
very
and just did it.
impromptu. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe you said so much stuff that was cohesive. I'm like, how can she talk without looking at notes? But I bet the 1 hour version is going to be nice and succinct. I like that. Give it to me. I
Yeah,
would love
and
to
that's
have
what
it.
I do with the 60-minute. And so I
Cool.
want to go back in and kind of like maybe update it, and maybe it'll still be an hour and 15 or so because I'm
Right.
going to add a few extra things and like networking and stuff. I always like to,
Cool. Yeah, keep us posted.
um,
That sounds exciting.
Bye, Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
yeah. But bye, Dr. Mike. So yeah, but but yeah, so it's that muck truck it's actually the muck truck is, now that I'm thinking about it, like the pack, the BLT pack with me and Leslie. So you get 90 minutes with me and 90 minutes with Leslie.
That's a lot.
And just those two things together is worth more than the package price. But there's like 6 other things that we're including in it. So there's just like we're kind of just, it's the first time that we ever got together and like, like talk to people together and like presented together. So it was a really cool. It's a really
It
cool.
was really fun for me. It was really fun for me, to be honest with you, to learn that Leslie's up the road about 90 minutes from me.
Oh, I was gonna say she's got to be. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's up in Portland. Yeah.
Yeah, I even
Yeah.
told her when she and I first kind of reconnected and started talking a lot again a month or a couple months ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I have a bunch of students up in the north,
Yeah.
like Pacific Northwest, and
Yeah.
it was kind of funny how a lot of you guys are kind of like concentrated there,
Right.
and like even Vancouver and like, there's like that whole kind of corner, of the country, and just a little further north into Canada is like so funny. There's so many, I find that there's a lot of people.
We call it the sticks. We live in the sticks.
The boonies.
Beautiful.
All right, kids. On that note, I started rewiring my studio. I got to finish, so I'm going to let you go.
Bye, Matt.
Matt.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We'll see
Enjoy
you
your
soon.
weekend. Sounds
You too.
good.
Thanks.
All right.
Good luck, Matt.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Hi, Jesse.
See you, Jesse.
Bye.
Bye,
Well,
Jesse.
Bye-bye.
One thing about
Bye,
pay to
guys.
plays, I'm not saying pay to plays is the best, but sometimes you can't get regular clients off of there. I have gotten regular clients that
Yeah.
I'm their go-to girl now.
Oh, that's good.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you have
no.
too.
And that happened to me early on. I just hear people like the one in particular, one pay to play in particular that you're not supposed to, that they kind of like, the like voices.com, it's like restricts connections or content.
Oh yeah, I don't even that place. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that platform
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
but
anybody
Voice
who is.
123, from what I understand, is a good place for people to connect with clients because they still allow it.
Yeah, they do.
So, but yeah, and so like I said, everybody's a little bit different, and I don't, I'm not saying don't do the pay to plays, just like to be able to spend, if you spend more time on direct marketing and you can get more lines in the water and get more regular clients from one connection,
Yeah,
it's
makes
a
sense.
better use of your time than it is to audition. It feels more productive when you're auditioning.
Right.
constantly.
That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared to make that leap because it feels like I'm doing something. I'm reading scripts, but you're right. Why would you not get paid to do what you would do in the regular gig? It makes sense. It's just like I'm scared to make that leap. Like, am I really going to spend time at my computer? It feels like I should be in the booth, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, just balance it, even if it's 15, 20 minutes
Right,
outside,
right. Just get
outside of what
started.
you normally do,
Yeah, and people
I
are
feel
getting
like I'm
positive
paid-
results, right? I mean, not everybody's getting the no response, right? Are we going to junk mail? How's that working? Is people getting responses?
Well, as long as you use, I don't know, I mean, Yeah.
I don't have a Gmail. I have a jamieblythevo.com.
Yeah,
so
that's what I
There
recommend.
you go.
That'll
Okay,
wind you up in more
okay, good.
inboxes than spam boxes.
Yahoo.
I need to
Right.
figure out how to do that.
It's just a domain
'Cause
name, email.
I have Proton Mail, and that nobody knows what that is.
Don't you have Rob at robscheimer.com?
No.
No?
I,
Well, you should.
I have
Well, do
RS.
that. Do that.
I'm gonna go
right
register
now.
that domain right now and hijack it.
Me
I
too.
Right
have
now, get down there.
RSVO at duck.com.
And it's mine.
No, actually, Rob Scheimer.
I'm selling it to you.
RobScheimer.com is my. I took one of those things.
Oh, Rob Scheimer at Gmail. Is it? Oh, Proton Mail. Yeah, I see it. I'm in my inbox
Yeah.
right now, and I'm like, I was pretty sure that I saw Rob at robscheimer.com. But so whoever you have your hosting through, Rob, or whoever your domain, you own robscheimer.com, correct?
Yes.
So what company do you have that you have?
Namecheap.
Namecheap. So so contact them because and not so much that they're the best, but like contacting the company that is connected already, that you're already giving business to, will sometimes give you a bundle from your hosting / domain, right? So if you have your domain purchased and hosted through one particular place, go to them for your email inbox, because sometimes they'll give you they'll put it into a bundle and you'll save money, but it'll cost you like $2 to $5 a month generally.
Yeah, I think I saw $5 a month.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I qualify for that.
Yeah, but see, see if they'll call them up. If they have,
I will
if
do
they have
that.
phone, ask for a deal. It never hurts.
Does anyone have Bluehost?
You don't get.
That's right.
Yeah.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
Yeah.
And remember,
save
$5 is
save
the
for
price
rainy
of a
day.
decent hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
nothing.
A month,
Right.
What about White Castle?
I said
White
decent.
Castle isn't decent. You actually have to be drunk in order to be in White Castle
It's true.
after like 11 o'clock.
That is true. But
I thought you were going to say after the 11th burger.
Oh dear God.
oh yeah.
No.
You
But
can't
Then
eat
you
the
share
11
then you
White
share
Castle
your
burgers.
cab. Then you share your cab with all those burgers about an hour later.
Oh,
White
God.
Castle
He's a
is
share
just
guy.
Midwestern Waffle House.
Ah, there we go. This is the happy hour I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
We're almost
And
at 7
not all
o'clock.
this business crap.
You
Hey,
can
quick
tell.
question. Does anyone have Bluehost?
Nope.
Bluehost, WordPress?
Oh, my website is built on WordPress.
Yeah, mine too.
All right. So you
Mine
have
will.
your domain. Where do you check your mail? Do you link that with Google or what? How does that work? I
I'm
have a
DreamHost.
DreamHost.
That's mine personally.
I
Okay.
use Pear.
My email service is coming through GoDaddy.com, which is actually where my WordPress site is hosted.
Mm.
Okay. I have a domain. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it. I set up my email yesterday, chrisw@voiceforyourvisions.com.
Mm.
That's a
Okay.
lot of stuff.
Good.
Is that too much?
No,
I
I
don't-
mean, I don't think you necessarily need the W, but if it's already done, then it doesn't matter. People are going to be clicking on it. They're not going to be remembering it.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
And if there's already
One
it's
thing to
Chris W
remember,
at
if
your
you
domain.
already have that domain, you can have multiple email addresses pointing to the same SMTP server, so you can use an alias. Like, I have Al at voprofessional.com, and I also have Al at voprof.com.
Because you're a professor sometimes.
Well, I was until
That makes
Nicely done.
sense. That makes sense.
I have an email address called god@purgatory.org or goddess@purgatory.org.
Hey,
Oh,
holy.
no,
Holy
that'll
moly.
send you
well
to
done.
hell.
I thought about
Target
Chocolate
Target.
Thunder at
I
Voice-
dated a guy who owned hell.com, actually. He sold it.
I have
He sold it. Oh
I have
Oh,
Hugh,
yeah, probably made a bundle too.
That
Janus.
should have been a red flag.
God. Heaven and hell. I love that.
Yikes.
Geezer.old.
And there went the conversation.
Anyway.
Hi, Stagger.
But my
How are
roof
you?
is freaking done.
Yay!
Ooh. I'm still
9
not done with
days.
that job I was supposed to be done with.
9 days for a roof. Yikes. What kind of, did you have to work around the sound? Like what's
Yeah, how did you do your
noise
booth?
is
I had to
that?
work around the dust.
Oh, not good for your lungs. I had a tree fall in my room where my booth is, and then we had to submit to the insurance the cost of dismantling this booth, moving it, remantling it, moving it back. But thank God we didn't have to fix this whole room. It wasn't like structural damage. So we got to keep that money that the insurance company gave us, and we're not going to have to do that. Thank goodness, because that sounded like a pain.
Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that had to have been scary. I mean, were you home and just
Yes,
part
we
of the
felt
house?
it. We felt it all. And then there's a tree on our roof. Just the part where my voiceover studio is. I'm like, great, just the most important money-making room in the house.
Did it fall on the booth itself?
The tree itself fell in the roof. Yeah. There's like a big hole.
On the booth though, did it hit
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
It didn't you can't, from the room, you can't see any damage, but it
Oh,
punctured the wall and it definitely punctured the roof. So there's tarp on my roof while State Farm gets their shit together to figure it out. But no, it didn't come in the room, thank goodness, because that would have been,
So
I
why
think it's
did you
probably
have to
covered from insurance.
dismantle the booth then?
Because they would have had to, we thought they were going to have to take off this roof of this room and take off the sidewall and do all reconstruction. And this booth, everything has to be moved out of this room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this booth didn't come in the room. I built it in the room. It's like, you can't just take it out the door.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
sounded
you
like
have to
such a
take it
pain. I was so stressed about it.
I have
So
moving blankets.
well, there you go. It's already moving. So that's lucky.
Yeah.
This booth is not light. Studio bricks, the
No,
extra large
yeah,
one.
no.
Oh, it's the brick? Yeah. Wow.
Mine's
Yeah, it's the
only like,
voiceover XL.
I think I only have like 800 pounds.
great
Mine's only
booth.
about 800 pounds, but studio bricks are a lot heavier from what I remember.
Yeah, the shipping costs a lot.
Yeah. Because, well, they're in Spain,
$500 to ship.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're overseas.
I was like,
So-
oh.
You have a
Has anybody noticed how many on the exchanges, how many booths are up for sale these days? I
Are
think
there?
there's a lot of people who have
People are retiring.
decided to, they've decided to get out of the business because of all the competition and
Oh, good. More room for us.
Seen a lot on Facebook Marketplace too.
They
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
thought
wouldn't
it
want a
was
used booth. It's like the pizza guy chair. Like, I want my fresh booth. Come on.
easier than
Oh no, I'm just saying I just noticed that there's a proliferation of them these days.
Wow.
Because I think a lot of people are trying and then they give up.
Yeah.
That's
Of
really what it comes
course.
down to.
Yeah. This
And
is a
then and they go and
persistent.
they go and buy the booth and all the equipment and then they go, oh, this is work
Mm-hmm.
to
Right.
get there.
Yeah, which I
Yeah.
don't understand. And I try to really tell people, like, you don't need, the booth doesn't make you better.
Mm-mm.
And the booth
Mm-mm.
doesn't even necessarily make you sound better in a
Mm-mm.
lot of
I did not book any more after my booth than before.
Right. You have to be making the money already to justify
Right.
the expense of a booth, or, it's an investment, it's a write-off. But,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's not necessarily any better. Like, my booth is barely, like, I'm at -57 dB, which is around, like, not really that quiet. Studio bricks are a different story, which is why they're so much more expensive than whisper rooms, that they're incredibly quiet.
Mhm. Yeah, I did not see my child approach me when you were like, who's
Yeah.
that?
But what's your noise floor, Jamie?
I don't remember. My husband's the technical guy and he's
Oh.
he's out of town,
Oh
but
my
he could tell
gosh,
you all
wait.
those things.
Okay.
What?
So, no, so do you record when you're in there? Like,
No, I record in my booth, but my husband knows all those things you're going to ask me about. What's your noise floor? What's the gate? What's the computer?
Okay.
He's the sound engineer, so he knows all those things, and I'm just the talent. I don't know much.
okay. So, I mean, but yeah, so I'm thinking you're probably, I mean, most studio bricks that I know are probably like -70, 65-ish, -70, which is like pretty quiet, right? So -55 is the start
Okay.
of quiet. That's like acceptable. I'm at
Okay.
-57, which is just beyond that. Like, it's just beyond good. So studio bricks sometimes are, I know, Al, aren't you at like -70 or something in your home?
He
Like
just posted it.
your home booth? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Rob, you're in the high 50s. We just tested that today, but yeah, I mean, but remember that the booth just doesn't, it's not an automatic, like booths are
No,
made,
it's not.
at least the whisper rooms are made to be in an already quiet room. Right? If somebody was outside, like when somebody stands outside my booth and talks, I can still hear them. So it only makes a room quieter, like it's made for an already quiet room. So if you're going to spend money, like to me, the justification of buying the booth was, first, I was already making a full-time living doing this, and it was worth I knew that it was going to pay for itself. But I just wanted my closet back. But it didn't really sound much better than my closet that I've been recording in for 10 years. So it didn't, like it's a dedicated space that's what I do in there. I just wanted my, I was like, I got my closet back to actually hang my clothes back up and like, but it's, the booth is kind of a reward, but it shouldn't really be something that you don't need it.
For me, it's like a little confidence boost. Like, look at my booth, but I did not book any
it's an
more.
aesthetic. It's definitely a status symbol, I guess,
Yeah.
if you will. But just like the microphone, like the whole gear thing. But you don't need it to
No.
start. Like you don't. It doesn't need to be fancy to sound good. It really
Right.
doesn't.
And if you spend all your money on that fancy stuff, those are the people who end up on Facebook Marketplace are like, I didn't make any money back. Well, you didn't need to invest that much up front.
Yeah, if because
slow
people
burn.
like to buy the tangible stuff instead of getting the training, because I get it. Like the training's not the sexy part. The microphone and the booth are really super cool, and like it's like, oh, I have a thing. It's this thing that they can like put their hands on. It's tangible.
Right.
But learning how to do, because like once you get in the booth, what do you do? Like if you don't know how to get the work, if you don't have the competitive skill yet to get the work, it's not going to pay for itself. And then you're going to wind up it's going to wind up collecting dust,
Yeah.
So,
So
it's a long game.
What was your noise floor in your closet?
What's that?
What was your noise floor in your closet? Around about
the same. Probably -55, -57. Yeah, I would get it just to the point where I needed it, and then I would use a noise reducer, like just to pull that little extra out of there to make it super clean. Which I still use sometimes in the booth. It depends on what's going on outside the booth,
Okay.
But
I'm a little new around here. So do you do audiobooks as well? I know you do the commercials and all that. And was that a bad word?
no, not at all.
Just takes a long time.
I don't mind. No, there's no bad words here, Patty. It's fine. I just don't. No, I can't say I've never done an audiobook, but it wasn't a good fit for me. Like that long form. But are you on the ACX? Is that where you're kind of diving into, or?
Well, I was looking at it. I do like audiobooks. I'm very, very, very new. So I like medical narration.
Okay, that's a great niche. It's definitely
Boy,
lucrative.
that's specialized, and there's
I have a nursing
I've heard
background, so I don't know what else. It's like, okay, well, I think I can do that. I can read a couple of words. Yeah, I can do those.
Yeah, the pronunciations. A lot of people that do wind up getting into VO with a medical background often do that, and because you're used to kind of seeing those words and the pronunciations and all of that. It just makes sense.
It's great. You could do commercials too if you want.
I don't think I'll stay there though. I think I might like commercials. It just reminds me of like the emergency room or ICU. They're kind of always on heightened alert, and they're like, you got to audition, and it's like, okay. Whereas narration, you can take your time and do what you have to do.
True.
Yeah. Well,
that's like more like rehab to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you like, I talk a lot about like the technique of commercials, like when I like that 90 minutes. Did you get the BLT pack or no? I don't remember.
Did you said the thing I need to, okay. Let me go back and check my email. I've been to work.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, with the I know you were on the webinar the other night. Yeah, the link to the package is in there. In the email with the replay. Yeah, with the because you get the replay.
With the replay. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you'd get 90 minutes with me and 90 minutes with Leslie, which just those two things are worth over the price of the package.
Okay.
So plus we have a bunch of other things, but but you get my copy essentials, which is you can use towards all kinds of like scripts, but at the same time, like I also like specialize in commercials. So like I teach commercials in a way that like makes them fun because I've had people go, well, they're not really sexy. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what's sexier than walking in your booth and making your entire month's bills in a half an hour session? Like, it's not that it happens every day, but it's nice, So at the same time, it's like, okay, like I make it sexy. Like I teach commercials in a way that kind of like breaks things down and goes like, they're mini stories.
They're even called films now. They call them films.
I'm looking at how some of the faces lit up when you said that about commercials, and it's like go in there and make your entire month's worth of everything. Like, wow, yeah.
You do union work.
Oh no, Patty, I was looking at yours and I was just about to send you a message about watching what happened to your face. That thing lit up like 12 Christmas trees on steroids.
Gee, Trish, how do we get this package before tomorrow night?
But wait.
I post it. I don't like I always talk about VO happy hour being like I don't pitch anything. I tell you guys about stuff and but I certainly don't pitch anything.
I know, but I'm goading you.
I know. Give me a sec. I will find the link for it.
I'm trying to be the bad boy today.
It's all right. Close. Oh my gosh, so many links. I have so many tabs open that I'm like, BLT package. Here we go.
Hey, Chris,
I do enjoy BLTs.
I'm going to do this in public. Compliment Chris. He bought the Scarlet, and he does sound better. He does sound better.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
If anyone's not noticed, yeah, it's just a lot cleaner and the levels are better. Yeah.
Cool.
There's the link. It's in the chat.
There it is. Woo.
And if you guys just want something that's $297, I'm still offering the replay for the webinar 2 nights ago at $47 if that's like a better price point for you. And it doesn't cover everything obviously, but it's a pretty good, kind of covers a lot of details about it. It's just not in like, and it doesn't include obviously like one-on-one. Bye, Rob. Sorry, I missed that.
Trisha, can I tell you something?
Of course.
That, and I mean this, I'm not just blowing smoke. That time with you and Leslie dug me out of a pit of depression.
Aww.
Seriously. I mean, I felt so much hopeful. I felt like okay, I can do this. I'm not going to give up. I'm ready to go. I'm 57 years old. Yes, had a radio background. In March, I re-signed with an agent that I'd been with back in 2000. I've gotten no work from them, nothing but auditions. And I feel like I've been paying to go to work in the middle of a lot of stuff going on. And I was losing my grip, honestly. I don't mind telling everybody that, but
it's a grind.
I'm saying all that to say that this, going back and listening to that is worth it. I felt it was really empowering to to hear a little bit of your story, Trish, and to see a little minuscule of your journey, but also to get some practical tools in approaching copy. And I mean, I can't wait to sink my teeth in that BLT. I mean, it's really excited.
Extra mayo.
Right.
Animal style.
The Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Who's that?
No, I mean, but
I,
that's my 2 cents.
That's
yeah,
great.
we got the BLT thing. That was just me because like Leslie and I, she's like, just, just, I was like, I'm gonna come up with like a name for the package and blah, 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 and it's like, and she's like, okay, I trust you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, we were chit-chatting here and there, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it because I think she's gonna like it. So the first thing I came up with was like, all right, like if it's a pack, I've never done a pack. Well, I can't say never, but I would try, like, for some reason, the idea of taking the L from Leslie and the T from Trish and kind of putting them together and seeing what happens. So I'm like, all right, what's an LT? I'm like, ooh, BLT. And so it's basically boost your VO, B boost with LT with Leslie and Trish.
Love
So
it. And you get both Leslie and
right.
Trish. Both.
Both Leslie. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
That's
that.
a good one.
But
So who's the bacon in the middle of this?
I know that's what the B is, it's like it's just
You're gonna bring home the bacon if you get
bringing
Trish and
home the
Leslie.
bacon.
Oh, yeah.
There's the connection right there.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
But
but
but that brought me it brought me from the feeling, not that I know I'm not, that wasn't necessarily true, but feeling washed up and irrelevant to being hopeful and excited again about what I did.
Yay.
So
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of it's honestly like 90% of this is just sticking it out. It's just sticking with it. Like there's a lot of people and this doesn't it's not just for VO, but like entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before, if you've always traded your time for money, if you've always been paid by someone else by just showing up, you're not in the mindset of grinding for a long time before you get money back, right? You're used to working and getting a paycheck, working, getting a paycheck. And it's
way it should be.
constant routine. And that's kind of the way it should be. But when you start a VO business or any kind of freelance business, you're a photographer, you're a graphic designer, start a business in general, any business, you know, a bakery, it's going to take some time to build up, and unless you know what you're doing with the marketing game, you're not really going to go very far anyway, and especially with VO. And that's, since, I've been doing direct marketing since before it was cool. It's like I didn't just do the pay to plays. I wasn't just on interactivevoices.com and voice 123 early in the early days because I was making some money doing it, but I still wasn't making a full-time living. So it was like I was putting lines in the water and reaching out to ad agencies and production companies. Like I had the demos to back it up. That's the big thing, is you need to have the demos and the talent, and not so much innate talent, but like have the skill level to represent yourself well on the demos so that you can send the demo. Like it's not just like throwing up samples and like sending like samples to ad agencies and production companies, which because you're up against people like me, like it's like you're up against people that are kind of like have put the work in and have done like have professionally, like if you go to the grocery store and there's a product and it's the same product side by side and one is in a brown paper bag and the other has like really nice packaging, which one are you going to pick?
That bag every time.
Maybe me too, but
But one thing that was really educational for me, Trish, I'm sorry to cut you off. When I started doing this back in the mid 90s, I guess, I had the security blanket of the radio studio. Then getting outside of that in 2000, I had two agents in the Atlanta area, and I would say probably about a 2-1 ratio. I would book.
Wow, that's a good ratio.
Well, but here's the thing. Back then, you go to the audition,
Right.
usually in someone else's studio or
Right.
in the studio of your agent. You've got the relationship, they see you, you
They
get a
coach
call
you
back.
through it.
Yeah. Today, you're performing against the algorithm.
Yeah.
People that no one sees. And you could be, one of the most talented people in the world, unless you're known you're still competing against a bunch of numbers and algorithms and percentages. And it's depressing to think about because basically you're competing against a computer. It's like it's like the competition against AI before there was AI, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm learning that. It's been a tough lesson, but I'm learning that. And there still is a special prize for being human and and making real human relationships. And we haven't even started working together, Tricia. I'm learning that already. Just
Right.
I got that from Wednesday night, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, one of the biggest things that I like to point out, because this didn't really even hit me until maybe a year ago. But when you think about it, the pay to plays, they make their money from the talent, right? Even the more ethical ones, there are ones that take fees like crazy and like, let's say Voice 123. As far as we know, they only make money off of talent subscriptions. Okay. You pay $400 or whatever it is for the year.
Or 8,800 like I do.
Okay, where you're on one of the higher tiers, yeah. So you pay that amount of money, and then what do they like? And then there's thousands of talent, if not hundreds of thousands of talent that are on these things, right? So, and I don't know how many are in the different tiers.
Yeah, like I guess the bigger you pay, the less talent you're competing against.
Okay. Well, yeah, because most people, they won't. I'm sure that as you go up into the tiers, that
You get the
there's
better
less
jobs or something like that. But he's right, it is kind of algorithmic.
Well, it has to be. So if you look at it like this, is they have to spread the wealth just enough to keep people. Bye. Who's leaving?
Garland.
Gar.
Garland. Yeah.
Bye, Gar.
Igar.
Yeah, if you think about it from their business perspective, they have to land you jobs just enough or give you enough opportunities to have you land even just one job to pay for itself so that you renew the next time. Right. So it's not like the jobs are just going to the people that are booking all the time, because otherwise that would probably be about 10% of all of the subscribers that they have, and it would get rid of 80% of their revenue. Okay. So you're not really getting recognized for your talent because it's so when you have the same person, like you have an agent or a casting director, somebody that knows you and that has a much smaller circle, and they know you and they know your talent, they're going to hire you in some cases because they know that you're great for the job, right? That's their job. But on the pay to plays, when you have a different set of people choosing the different voices each time, they can mess with the algorithm. Like Voice 123 is like, okay, like we need to push this audition out to this kind of outer crowd that has never booked before, because we want their money again next year. So what happens is less and less people are able to make a living across or make a regular income, because they're just trying to spread the wealth enough that they have enough people subscribing over and over again. So there's a good chance that you're not seeing a lot of opportunities that you would be perfect for, that you would normally in another situation, your agent or a casting director or a creative director at like an ad agency that knows you will just go, so-and-so is perfect for this. Like, let's just reach out to her or him and find out if they're available, because that's what relationships do. But they don't, that like Voice 123 but like the casting sites, they don't have that. They don't have that personal connection, and their business model is making money off of your subscriptions, the talent subscriptions. Because if it was in a perfect world, or in a, like if it was based on the clients paying and it was like per job, it would be fine. And then I almost guarantee you that 10%, if they sent it out and like to all talent, let's say every single talent got like that are signed up on the site that have subscribed actually received the audition. It, for the most part, 10% of all of the talent would book a majority of the work, 90 to 90% of the 95% of the work. But that means that they're only getting that 10%, that Voice 123 is only receiving subscription fees from 10%. And then the people not making money aren't going to renew, which means that severely like reduces their turnover or their revenue, right? So they have to spread out, they have to spread the wealth, which means you're just not getting a lot of the jobs or even opportunities that you have a right to see. So that's kind of how, it's like they make their money by how many talent are subscribed to the site, not about how many jobs you book from one talent,
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's, and like I said, I know people are making a lot of money on the pay to play.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much per year if I wasn't making much more than that per year from that.
Yeah. It's just that, like I said, you have to, it's like, I just wanted more time freedom. That was my thing, is like, I would rather make less money and have the days to myself than like be cooped up in the booth. Because as much as I love my booth, I'd still rather not be in it if I don't need to be.
Totally.
It's a very lonely place.
It is. And you're a very people person. So
Right.
probably extra lonely for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to escape from my children. I actually love it.
But
like your voice, it's I like the way you have to step up into your booth there. It looks like a spaceship. It's
Oh,
cool.
it is like a spaceship.
It's a cool, studio bricks are nice.
Fun.
They're very nice.
Except when
I
the
live
tree
off
falls on it.
I live off a maze. Yeah, except when some of the tree falls on. I live off a main road, so it's a good solution for me.
Oh, okay.
And lots of trees in my neighborhood, so fall is just like.
I like the sides of it too. I always know it's studio bricks when you see that the design that you have. Like I have the old school Oralex,
Oh yeah.
But it's super futuristic looking. I like them.
It's fun. And we have Teslas too, so everything's kind of sleek in our house. Like expensive and need to do a lot of jobs if I can pay for it. I get that marketing list going. About my assistant better give me more names.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, let me know how that works out with the
I need to get started. I got to do it. Yeah. She's building it. I mean, she's just basically going by what you said. I'm like, I told her, I'm like, look at, small market website, look at the website. What does it have? Blah, blah,
Yeah.
She's just building lists for me. And then, but I don't want her to reach out. I want to reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad. Are you going overseas at all? Do you ever do work overseas?
Not yet. I have done work overseas when I worked with Badalgo, but I didn't like working overseas.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Why?
I
don't know. Because it's different times and like, I don't know. It's just too hard.
I get a ton of work from like Northern Europe and stuff,
Wow.
but I don't really do many directed sessions.
See,
So,
I need to get more self-records. I don't have very many self-records. Just a
oh,
few
okay.
clients of mine are like, yeah, get it back to me this week, but not many. Most of it, it's like, I'm on Zoom, I'm on Source Connect,
Oh, okay. Well, that's, I mean,
Not like I
don't
want
think
to, but that's just what I have now.
Yeah. I do maybe 2 or 3 a week that are directed, but that's it. Like the rest of like, I would
I
say,
love that on your own time. That sounds great.
yeah, and it because it does lend to, it is nice because I don't do early mornings. Like I just don't, it's like I don't really function. Like the first session that I even for coaching that I offer is at 11, but and even then, like I have to bye, John. Or I'm assuming the wave was. We'll talk to you soon. I'll be sending information.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, John.
My 4 o'clock to nighttime is bad because all my kids are home. They all need me.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the family thing. And then I end up doing my auditions like super late at night. I'm groggy. I'm like, I need my afternoon voice. I need my like 11 a.m. voice back. It's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 4 o'clock is like my sweet spot. Like that's my voice of like, but it depends on, well, of course it depends on the day, but
Right.
So
My
mhm.
first cup of coffee, excited voice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, things seem to be, I think, well, usually it was great discussion today, guys. This is like probably like, so it's sometimes, it's just a little more laid back and sometimes we actually get some really great, discussions going. So, but it is almost 7:30. So
Yeah.
after 2.5 hours,
A
I
long
think I'm
time.
gonna let you guys go. Oh, hi. What's your name?
Oh, she can't hear you.
Hi,
Say, my name's Evelyn.
my name's Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn. I
Evelyn's older sisters do a lot of voiceover work. Taylor just recorded, my 12-year-old just recorded Walgreens with Leo Burnett yesterday, and my 9-year-old recorded for Ford and just got great residuals. So I'm just like farming out my fam.
There are child labor laws.
That's okay. They have Coogan accounts. I can't touch it.
You adopt me, Jamie, so I can work.
Oh, she's a cutie.
Thanks.
One of my nieces is named Evelina.
Oh, that's a cute name,
Similar,
Evelina.
Mm.
Yeah. So
the other person who's always in the booth waiting for me.
Oh!
This is Biscuit. This is
Goodness.
Biscuit.
I
Studio
want him.
dogs. Yeah, you can have him. He's delicious. That's a real biscuit.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, this is my Instagram feed right now. Kids and dogs in the booth. This is basically it. If you follow at Jamie Blythe VO.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
There's nothing else going on.
Well, it's more than I got going on.
Oh, you got your cool purple stuff.
I don't really put. Everybody's like post stories. I'm like, my stories are boring. Like
I know, same.
I have to make stuff up in order to, it's like I just, it's. I mean, I do stuff, but like I can't record anything. Like
you can't share your work. Yeah,
Can't
there's
share
just so
my
much
work,
limited.
yeah,
Yeah.
most of
Oh,
the
here I
time.
am reading a script. No, unless you
Yeah.
wrote it yourself.
Sometimes I'll record, like I'll hit, and I'll just include the footage, but I won't include the audio.
Right, that's
Like
smart.
I'll post something, but
That's
it's
good.
still, everybody's like post stories. I'm like, I don't do it. Like, what am I going to post a story of me?
And
with
now that I got the poacher thing in my
California
head,
coffee?
I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be tagging everybody.
Get ChatGPT to write scripts for you, Trish.
It's a good idea.
Right. Yeah, I did.
All the copywriters cringe.
Yeah, there's something I did do recently, and I thought about posting. I don't know, maybe I can get some feedback from you guys about this before I start it. And like, I did use ChatGPT just because like I'm not a poet, and I thought, oh, it'd be something interesting and different on my channel. But I had ChatGPT write a bunch of ADHD poems.
That's cute.
Like poems about ADHD and like short, like, kind of like 4 or 5 lines per.
That's cute. Because that's all the attention span that they had.
Yeah, like, and it actually did a pretty good job. And I was like, all right, like I might as well just record these and like,
cute.
And like, just put like take like like not footage of me, but like have like a like just have some sort of video of random things like outside my window.
Super ADHD random, like uber random.
Yeah, but like just to mute the audio or mute the audio on the video and just have like, like a picture or a quick video of my backyard
That's
or
cute.
whatever
No,
it
that's
is.
cute.
But then while I'm reading the ADHD poems, like
oh, so like goes off to something else. Attention.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
It just like
So-
focuses on a plant all of a sudden.
Well, you know what I thought of? Does anybody remember from Saturday Night Live? The Deep Thoughts from Jack Handy.
Yeah,
Deep
Jack
Thoughts
Handy.
by Jack Handy.
So that's kind of like what I thought of to do. So it's like this serene,
That's cute.
like
The beach.
sunset picture, like a short video, and then just do a VO for, and read this ADHD poem.
It's a cute idea. I mean, I was thinking similar things. Like, what could I be reading? I guess I could be reading children's books, like because we can't read the copy from our clients, but we could
Right.
read something entertaining, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good idea.
Definitely.
I like that.
Pick a
What are you
subject
guys
and
doing?
ask ChatGPT
Me and
to
Chris.
write you a haiku.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Very short.
Yeah.
Saw you, Robert.
Does ChatGPT do haikus?
I'm sure it could.
I don't really know
575, right?
Yes,
Yep.
575.
575.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't really. I've never been into poetry, but I had the rhyme,
Very short.
rhyme and everything. I was like, how does he do that? I don't know. I don't really want to know.
Yeah, scary. Don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
I once sold a car with a poem and
Really?
pictures of a turkey standing on it.
That's so cute.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it was on Craigslist. I posted it. We had a tinkering car, as in Mike was tinkering with it. And then he got a new tinkering car, so it sat in the courtyard for like almost a year, and it was covered in turkey shit because the turkeys continually stood
wow.
on it. So I posted it on Craigslist with this. It was like, oh, little Minnie, how I love thee. Let me count the ways, right? And I basically lamented the fact that it needed significant work to pass the smog and all that. Somebody rocked up. They gave me what I wanted for it because it was a 2001 Mini JCW. I got $3,000 for it. They fixed it and got it working again, and passed smog because I got a toll ticket for one of the bridges here mailed to me because their system hadn't updated yet. But there was a picture of it going across the bridge. I was so pleased. You live again. The turkey poop is no more.
That's awesome.
But yes, it was a very funny little poem, but it worked.
Yeah, everybody loves levity and playfulness. It's great. It's relatable.
And pictures of turkeys standing on things.
Obviously.
Yeah, and if you can get something where kind of that showcases your voice, it's like if it's video, content or something like that, you can just, oh gosh, I just saw Al posted.
She's stealing it. She's stealing the show.
Oh, sorry, Evelyn. She's
Oh,
being the
yeah.
sound engineer now.
Oh yeah. Hi, Evan.
Now she can hear us.
All right, guys. Anything else? I'm like, I don't really want I feel like the conversation's good, but we're starting to kind of wind down. Like, let's see.
Yeah, we can
And
go.
let's hear
Yes,
Emma.
as soon as the turkeys make an appearance, we're done.
Yeah, turkey talk means we're done.
No, it's all good. We always like hearing about the turkeys. Have you had Tom? Was it Tom that you had recently, or didn't you have, or did you name him Tom, or is that just me?
No, we just had the errand boy. No, he finally found a flock.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Very proud of him. He's left.
So you raise turkeys? I have chickens.
No, I volunteer at a wildlife center, and since I live on a ranch, they needed some place to release orphans.
Oh, cool. That
And
was nice
so
of you.
I brought them up here.
And they
Orphan
destroyed your
turkeys?
car.
No, those were different turkeys. But those, there were turkey orphans raised up by a wildlife center, and they needed a place for them to be released. And normally we have a flock, but of course, the day I brought them home, the flock stopped coming up the mountain.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So I
you're
was
not-
stuck.
Terrible.
So you're not a big fan of the Thanksgiving episode of WKRP, then, are you?
Oh my gosh, that's like one of my favorite things.
I don't know that one, but I can surmise.
You're hitting
I
the
can
pavement
surmise.
like wet bags of wet cement. Oh god.
Oh, the humanity.
Our turkeys fly very well. The ones that come up here, they can fly just fine.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
not from Cincinnati, though, huh?
Yeah. Well, maybe they feed them too much corn because
Yeah,
you're in the
Midwest.
corn belt.
Yep.
Okay, Justin, what's his name?
Oh,
This
cute.
is Sybil.
Oh, sibilance.
Yeah, he's real sweet.
So
cute.
Our friend does repo, and she was found in the back of a pickup truck in a repo job, and she was shoved in a toolbox in the middle of the Texas summer heat. So she has some spots on her that the fur was burnt off, but we've gotten her all good and everything. So
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
yeah,
That's
People
fantastic.
still amaze me. I just oh
And she's a big old purr machine, though.
my gosh. Yeah, I was gonna
Purr's
say
Like a
she's-
motor.
Oh yeah,
She's so comfy too. She's just like
Aw.
out.
Studio
she is so
cats.
cuddly.
The cutie. You're sweet.
I'll wake up.
You're
she'll
in
just
Dallas?
be like,
Sorry.
up. Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
I'm from New Braunfels.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
From New what? Where?
New
I-
Braunfels. It's in
New
Texas.
Braunfels.
Yeah.
I lived in
Schlitterbahn.
Arlington for a
Did
year
you?
and a half, but I
Oh,
just
cool.
years ago. It was in 2006, and
Oh, cool.
yeah.
We have
I
a
didn't
family
know-
ranch in New Braunfels. It's 600 acres. No turkeys, just goats and cattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aw. And I
Now I'm in Chicago.
I don't remember that town name when I lived out there, but I tried to travel a bit outside and it was
Is that
fun.
where the big
Arlington.
German population was at one time in Texas?
What's that, Chris?
Is that where a big German population was?
Yes, New Braunfels is my
Braunfels.
grandparents immigrated. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
New Braunfels. I guess there's an old Braunfels. I don't know, but we have a big Oktoberfest. I'm going to go there this year.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, they
that's
call it
always fun.
Wurstfest.
I might join you.
WURST.
Yeah, it's I didn't realize. I mean, that's yeah. How far from Dallas are you? How far from Arlington then are you, Jamie?
4 hours, I think, from Dallas. I'm in between San Antonio and Austin.
Oh, that's why I hadn't heard of it.
It's in the hill
Okay.
country, the most
Okay, a
beautiful
little
part of
further out.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
IMHO.
Yes, it is.
Wimberley.
IMHO.
Yeah, in my humble opinion.
All right, guys. Well,
we're getting giddy. I got to get out of here.
yeah. You've been. Thanks for hanging out with us for so long.
I'm glad I got to. I'm glad I got to.
Thank you.
Well, it's about time.
What's that?
It's about time. I've been wanting
Yeah,
to.
definitely. Glad you joined. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know if you need any follow up or whatever.
I want your new video when you got your 60 minutes. I'm into it. And I'm just going to be inspired again to start. Like somebody said, it just could be 15 minutes at a time. It could just be, just start it. Just start, get your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just need to be brave. I'm afraid about being too organized. Like I have to make sure I make a list of who I reached out to so that it's in the right order. Like I don't like forms. I don't like Excel spreadsheets. I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah. I don't keep track of it. I really don't actually keep track of it.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
No.
Just do it by feel.
It's my brain just doesn't, as much as I try, I do it for like 2 days and then I just go off the rails and I just, so I know it works by this, I've managed to make it work by like from the, the, what do they say? Like, from the seat of
your pants.
About the seat of your pants. Yeah.
Your teeth.
Okay.
Skin of your teeth and seat of your pants. BLT.
Right.
I don't think Excel was made for ADHD people.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah.
So now when you do your auditions, you just well, you don't do a lot of auditions, okay? Because the people call you for the work. Okay, makes sense. Okay, now never mind. Answer my own question.
Yeah.
So how does it track that when they call you back and say, "Hey, you did this for us, and we want you to do this now"? Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty good at remembering that. Like when I've worked with somebody before, like I'm like obviously like I remember my client names, but it's it depends on how long ago, like I've had people drop off for literally, I think the longest amount of time between a project is 7 years.
Wow.
Like somebody, I worked for them and then 7 years, never kept in touch with them or anything. I don't do newsletters, nothing. And they contacted me 7 years later.
That's great.
I was like, what?
Talk about a lasting impression. Oh
Right?
my
Yeah, it was, again, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah, that's what you are.
All right, guys. Well, everybody enjoy their weekend. Hope to see you soon. Like I said, the hustle challenge, get on the wait list. To those of you that want to take part in the 5-day challenge coming up on the 19th. I'll be posting about it soon, but there's a wait list, and then the people on the wait list will have first dibs at actually signing up for the challenge, because I'll open that up first to anybody on that list. But I look forward to however I see you guys the next time, whether it's next Friday or sooner. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe, and you guys are awesome. Have a good night.
Thank you for hosting.
Bye.
We appreciate you,
You're welcome,
Trish.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
Frameworks.
Thank you.
Bye.